It's the one, the only, Simpmom. Oh, I had music. Hold on. There we go. Simpmom. Hey, everybody, give her a hand. Welcome, Simpmom, to the Coast to Coast Noodle Show.
Yay! Thank you for having me. This should be a lot of fun.
No problem. Thank you for being here, Simpmom.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure.
You are the second guest on this show, so I'm very glad that we're starting
The seat is still warm. It's still warm here where Critter's at.
Man, I told him his ass was going to be not comfortable for the next person. Oh, you like it? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, I like it.
There still might be a couple of hairs on that seat if you want to check it out too.
No, oh, Critter. Oh. Yeah.
So for the two people who don't know, tell everybody why is your name called Simpmom? Tell everybody who you are.
Because I'm a big simp. No, because my son is Simply, and he's had that name since he started streaming years and years ago. His chat named me Simpmom, and it just stuck. And there's Simp Dad, and there's Simp Sis, and there's Simp Dog, and there's Simp Mate, and there's the whole family of simps.
I've never seen Simp Dog. I don't think. I think I've missed out on Simp Dog.
Oh, in the early days. Now it's pretty much just Simp Mom and Simp Dad. And Simp Aunt, my sister Patsy, the one naked, and she still does look good naked. Not that, okay, never mind.
I mean, well, I feel like I'm going to have to just jot that in as a question, so we'll have to go back to that. Because it's pretty hard to say my sister looks good naked and then not.
Well, but she does. She does. She's just curvy, and it's in the right places, and things the gravity hasn't attacked her yet. And she's just as cute, and she's short. She's petite.
Oh, like me.
Yeah, well, a little bigger than you. A little bigger than you.
I don't have legs, so that's a little. I have a one up on people. I can get a lot lower.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
A one
there
down.
You go.
I have a one
there
down.
You go.
Two down. Wait, two legs
two
down. So Simpmom, you are the mother of Simply, huh? Who is famous.
I was there when he was born, and he has the little dent in his chin like his brothers and his father. Yes, it's him.
You're sure it's him? You sure
I'm
that
positive.
Simply is Simply?
I'm positive. I was there when it happened.
No switching at birth?
Nope.
You sure about that?
Nope. My sister got the wrong baby. Patsy got the wrong baby.
What?
The nurse brought in. Yeah, the nurse brought in a baby, and she goes, well, he looks a little different than yesterday, but newborns change. So she proceeded to nurse this child that had never been nursed, and her baby got a bottle shoved in his mouth. And so she got done feeding the baby, and I'll have to ask her who discovered it, if it was the nurse or she looked at the leg band and went, holy buckets, this is not my baby. This is not my baby. So she did get the wrong baby. So one baby got nursed by Patsy, who wasn't supposed to be nursed, and her kid got a bottle shoved, and he was supposed to be nursed. Kind of spooky that could happen nowadays, isn't it?
That is really, really crazy. Sorry, Zillium, thank you so much for resubscribing. I appreciate it. And also, thank you for the follow, Shay and Lapsap. Thanks for the cheer. Any follows? But thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Raiders, everybody. Yeah, that's kind of messed up that can happen. I think, like, okay, yeah, if you were born in like the 1820s, okay, that might happen.
I know.
That's a little scary.
And as I did a stint, in nursing school where we have, when you do your rotation, and the first thing you do is you look at the baby's leg band, the bands around the baby's leg, and you look at the mom's wristband, and you make sure they match before you hand that baby over. So she did not do that.
Interesting. That seems like a very easy thing to check.
Yeah, because a lot of babies look quite a bit alike. They're all bald. Well, no, they're not all bald, but I mean, a lot of them.
You trying to say we all look alike?
Kinda.
I mean, I guess you're not wrong.
Kinda.
We're all just bags. We're all just surrounded by our own crap, right? Bags of our own crap. That's what a baby is. Diaper, right? A diaper.
A diaper. Yeah. Nappies. They call them in England. Nappies.
Oh yeah. That's I like that one. It sounds,
yeah, I like nappies.
It sounds nicer than
it sounds,
a bag of
yes,
crap.
Yes, it does. It does. It actually does.
All right. I'll let all of you just go crazy in the chat over there. Like I said, by the way, before, guys, if you have, not to spoil anything, Simpmom, but I'm opening the later part of this interview up to them. If anybody has any questions about what they would like to be able to ask a parent or their parent about something, go for it. This is the night to do it, baby. We got someone who does not care. She's going to answer any crazy shit that you can ask.
Yes.
So, Simpmom, you like to cook, right? You are a big cooker?
Yes.
What would you say your favorite cuisine to cook, like your favorite style to cook is?
Italian.
Oh, yeah.
I have a mean sauce, and I just came across the best darn meatball, and everybody loves it. Lots of fresh herbs in it, and cheese and garlic, and Simpdad loves it. So I finally
had... meatball?
What?
Is Simpdad the meatball?
He can be. He can be. But I love to make lasagna. I love a good sauce, a really good sauce. And a lot of times with the carb things, I'll buy a spaghetti squash. And really with a good sauce and cheese, it's just a little bit crunchy. It's good. It's good.
What in the hell is a spaghetti squash?
It's a squash. Yes, it's yellow. And it could be any size, and you can cook it a variety of ways. You could throw it in the microwave. You could put it in the oven, and you cut it in half, and you dust it with olive oil, salt, and pepper it, and you let it bake. And then you take the seeds out, and as you take a fork and pull it, it's like spaghetti. And every one of my guys like it.
Wow. Have you guys ever heard of that? Have you ever tried that? I've never even heard of that. Fixit wants to know if you ever put cheese in your meatball.
Yes. Cheese. What? Yes. You got to put Parmesan, a really good a fresh Parmesan cheese.
Oh, no, he's asking if you put cheese in the middle of your meatball. Like a bowl of cheese, I guess.
Oh, you mean like how they do the Juicy Lucy's here? No, I mix it with the Juicy Lucy's. Minnesota, somebody came up with the idea of getting a big chunk of cheese and wrapping meat around it. And so when you bite into it, it's all melted. It's called the Juicy Lucy.
Yep, that definitely is what it should be called. Juicy Lucy.
Yeah, a Juicy Lucy.
I mean, I guess that's better than just meat or a cheese wrapped in meat. I guess that sounds better.
It does sound better. It does. And I'll never know because I don't eat meat, but I'll never know. But apparently it's a favorite. Simpdad's not really huge on it. But,
have you ever had this is not something that I was preparing to ask, but it was just something strange that when Liam and Simply were streaming together, Liam gave Simply a pat of butter to eat as a snack because it was from grass-fed cows. Would you ever just eat a pat of butter as a snack?
Land O'Lakes butter, yeah, I'd eat the whole stick.
What? So nasty.
Yeah, I would do that. I would
eat butter.
I would eat it. What do you guys think?
Fixit and Button know what spaghetti squash is.
It's delicious, right? And you could also do other things with spaghetti sauce other than put sauce on it. It's a way of satisfying that need for spaghetti without all those bad carbs.
Yeah, hello, buttered noodles. Excuse me. You could put butter on your noodles.
You could absolutely put butter on the squash. I mean, you could throw vegetables in it. You could, but I mean, it's a very bland tasting squash. So it's kind of like a tofu. You can make that any flavor that you want. And it's kind of like that, right, guys?
So if you were gonna cook something, if you knew that you were gonna cook something to make them fall in love with you, what would that dish be? Like the best thing you can make, or something that you just think would win their heart.
Well, it would depend on the person. If I knew that they were a seafood lover, I would go with a jerk salmon. And I would do with a Spanish rice and a bean salad. I mean, because those flavors just dance in your mouth.
What is that? Just like a salmon that's an asshole?
Huh?
No, a salmon who's an asshole? A jerk salmon?
No. See, I am no good at riddles. I suck at riddles. Completely suck at riddles. Okay. Jerk is kind of sweet and spicy, and it just is a perfect marriage with salmon. It just tastes, and I have a jerk seasoning that I fall in love with. So I'll make a huge bottle of it and just put it on salmon. And so it would depend on the person, but I think I would win them the most with my fresh made rolls or my pastry or my cakes or things, the sin stuff, my cheesecake or something like that. I think that would be what would get them.
The sweets. Simpmom would destroy your heart with sweets in a good way. In a good way.
Yeah. Well, chocolate ought to be a food group. I don't know why it isn't.
Isn't that like the top food group? The bottom is like vitamins, and the very top is just chocolate.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they taught me.
I mean, if the doctor said, "Look, you got to eat half a pound of chocolate a day, woman. You just got to do it. You got to force it." It's like, oh, I can do that. Yeah.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I'll just have like one of those big chocolate Easter bunnies every day, please.
But it's got to be good chocolate, like Dove. Not that nasty stuff they sell with that great big box. It's $2 at Walmart. Not that stuff. It's got to be good chocolate. It's got to be good chocolate. But Walmart sells Dove. But I mean, you guys know the box of chocolate that's this huge box of every flavor. And it's like $2. Nasty. Yes, Bism. Bism's got it. Dove chocolate's the best.
Dove chocolate.
And if you mix, for a really nice treat, if you mix, I think for Tool's wedding, I melted milk chocolate and Dove chocolate, and we made filigree to put on the cupcakes. And it's like you just want to shovel it in. That's what I would do. That's what I would do because a lot of people don't bake. And my family, it isn't Thanksgiving without my pies and my rolls from scratch. And my mom made wonderful rolls. My sisters all make fresh rolls. And there's just nothing like a hot roll from the oven. Right, guys? Not bread, that crappy.
Something special about freshly baked bread that you don't get with sweets.
It's the smell. The smell just resonates and it just draws you into the kitchen. It's like, where is it? And now I just saw that comment about that Carrie, the butter, that Irish butter. Okay, now we had staff that went over to Ireland and they said that dairy is second to none. I did buy that Carrie. Is it Kerry Green? Is it Carrie? I did buy that butter at Sprouts. I went in there and bought it. I still prefer Land O'Lakes. I still prefer. You know what I think it is I'm so used to the taste of it. And I love it that I don't, even though I could probably get used to that Kerry butter, but it's a lot more expensive. I like my Land O'Lakes.
Well, everybody can like what they want. That's the whole point of life, right? Is you do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, button carrot, I'm with you. I mean, there's nothing. I think that was the problem why I always was a little heavier because I just love good bread. And you guys who live in New York can relate to this. You got the best bread. There's a huge Italian influence. So you've got that crusty, fresh bread with the soft inside. And then what's better than that? When you cut it up and make toast with it. Oh my God.
And bagels, right? Bagels from New York are the absolute best kind of bread in the history of the world. I don't know if you've had them, Simpmom.
I've had bagels from
bagels.
The shops. What did you call them? What did you call them?
I'm just joking around.
No, say it. What bagel? Did I not say it right?
Bagel. No. It's the Minnesota thing. It's more like bagel.
Oh, bagel. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Don't you know? I talk with the bagel. We eat lots of bagels in
People
Minnesota.
love when people say bagel.
Yeah. Bagel.
But yeah, the bagels at the stores, if you're getting them at the grocery stores, that ain't no bagel. I'm just letting you know. I have shown I think in the last year, like 5 people, I have given them a bagel for the first time in their life, and the look on their face is always complete surprise and just joy. You never think that it's going to be that good. It's just a circle of bread.
Now Biscuit's talking about Biscuit. Once you've had bread from New York, I'm sorry. When we came to Minnesota, we were on a quest to find, because the bread in the supermarkets in New York is good. The bread in the supermarkets in Minnesota is, it's just not the same. It just isn't. And we haven't found a place in Arizona that has the bread. And maybe again, it's because we grew up eating it all the time. What do you think? Button Carrot, chime in. She knows, right? Button Carrot.
You just need to go to Queens and get a good bagel. That's your problem.
All right, we're all going to Queens to get a good bagel. Lots of cream cheese, lots.
Oh my God, what a ridiculous thing to do!
What? You don't put cream cheese on your bagel?
I love cream cheese, but every time I get cream cheese, I have to say put as little cream cheese as possible, because they literally put like a half a pound of cream cheese on it.
Yeah.
You like that? It's impossible to eat. It just falls out, and then it looks like you did something not too good.
Maybe it falls out. How the heck are you eating your bagel?
Like a sandy. Like a
How
sandwich.
the hell do you? Oh, you got it together?
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing it on like the drive to work,
they got to be apart so you can enjoy it.
You gotta eat your bagel on the drive to work. That's the only way to eat it, is if you're not crashing into people while you're biting down into some cream cheese.
Oh, Biscuit's got it. You squeeze it, then you lick the edge. Yep. There you go. There you go.
Biscuit, it isn't mayo.
Fixed. It's fixed. It's fixed.
Fine. Mm-hmm. Fine. Bixit fixed something. Congratulations, Bixit. You have fixed your cream cheese problem. Move on to the mayo problem now. Although I'm sure you will say that it's not a problem. But that's what addicts say.
Yeah, not a problem.
So, Simpmom. In the sack, Mario or Luigi?
Ooh. I can't have both? You know, I think Mario's a little naughty. Just the way that he looks and how he was in pursuit of Peach. Mario.
Oh,
if he's good enough for Peach, he's good enough for me.
Well, a lot of people would say that he's not good enough for Peach because she always just tells him to go fuck off after he saves her.
She's playing hard to get.
Yeah,
guys like that. Guys like that.
That's their relationship. People don't understand. Yeah. So Luigi, you're just leaving Luigi out, man. Luigi just gets the shaft, man.
He could go fix somebody's sink.
Well, he has that other princess, right? He has some other princess.
Yeah. No.
Thank you, Koala.
It's got Mario's got that little gleam in his eye. Yeah.
And it's a me, Mario. I mean, Luigi doesn't talk like that. That's some dirty talk right there.
Yeah.
You imagine him getting into bed with you going, "It's a me, Mario." That is worthy of a dream right there.
I'm becoming a Mario.
Oh
no. Okay. Moving right along.
So this could go a lot of, and this isn't a bad question at all. It just can go off in a lot of different directions.
Well, we know it's going in the gutter. Let's just call it what it is. We know where it's going.
Unless you have done something in your life as a profession that I am not aware of, I don't think it will. But I was going to say, we all know that you have done a million things during your life as in terms of careers.
Yeah.
What was your favorite profession? The most fun, I should say.
Singing waitress.
Oh.
Because I made the most money. I made the most money. I made a ton of money. So did you just
sing whatever you wanted to sing?
No. I did Over the Rainbow. My character was Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. I had my hair in pigtails. I made the outfit. I had the ruby slippers. I had the basket with a stuffed dog in it. And, somewhere over the rainbow, way up. But I would belt that out probably, 20 or 30 times a night. Made a ton of money.
Holy crap, 20 or 30 times a night?
Well, it was a theme restaurant, and it was an expensive restaurant, and all of the servers were characters.
That makes a little more sense now.
and I was going to switch it up because he said to me, the owner brought me in and he just said, is there another character you'd rather do? And so I was going to do Liza Minnelli Cabaret. And just kind of do, because that's Judy Garland's daughter, and be a little bit of a cabaret singer. So that was fun, because the little kids, when folks would bring their kids in, the little kids would pull on my dress and say, "You got to watch out for that witch. That you got to watch out. She's going to get you." And they believed that's who I was, and it was so cute. And I there's probably hundreds of pictures out there. Well, these kids are probably in the nursing home now.
Wait, you were wait, you were the witch and you were singing Somewhere Over the Rainbow?
No. I was Judy Garland, but the kids would pull on my dress when I walked by if I wasn't waiting on their table, and telling me that the witch was out to get me. The Wicked Witch of the West was going to come get me, and I had to watch out. Please watch out, because she's looking for you.
Oh, that's
in
amazing.
Those shoes, and she wants those shoes you got. And I ruined a pair of my best heels by gluing red sparkles all over them. And but
I'm sure it's worth it.
I needed a break from nursing. I found out with nursing is that when I always wanted to be able to give it my all. And when I felt that I was getting a little burned out or I wanted to change, that's when I would pick something. I was a realtor for a while. I drove truck for a while. I made a candy store. What else?
Wait, what was that?
I worked at Perkins. I managed a candy store. That was fun.
Managed the candy store. You cut out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I managed a candy store.
Ooh, how was that?
And
were you just like dealing with little kids all day?
No, more adults. More adults.
Really?
Yeah,
awesome.
More adults. But you know what? The creepiest thing. Let's see. They're probably a terrible thing. Terrible thing happened. And it was a candy store. It was out in a small town, but on the outskirts, where there was like a mini mall, where there's a couple, like a dry cleaning store, gas station, something put together. Yep. And this man came in, and he came by in the counter, and he's groping me.
What?
And it's like, yeah, this guy comes in, and it was like, and I didn't know, we didn't have cell phones. I don't even know if I had a phone there. I probably had a phone, probably a business phone, no cell phone. And so, he was older, and, and then it finally, it's like, stop grabbing me. I'm going to get the police. Stop grabbing me. And so I told the owner of that, and he was like, well, probably won't happen again. And he kind of poo-pooed it.
What a douchebag.
Okay. Well, but listen to this. So, the guy came in again, and I didn't see him. I was like putting stuff up, on the shelves, and I just kind of glanced. I didn't recognize him. He came up from behind me, and he's groping me again. This old guy, and it's just him and me in the store. And it's like, and I didn't want to hurt him because he's an old man, but it's like, you got to stop this. You got to, I don't know why you're doing this, but you got to stop this. I said, I'm going to call the police. And then he'd leave. Well, I went to the main candy store, and the owner was, and I said to him, the guy came back. I'm kind of afraid that he's going to show up at night and follow me home or something. And, he didn't hurt me. He just wanted to feel,
that's
there's two types of
horrible.
There's two types of old men: dirty old men, and men that wish they could be dirty old men, but they know how to behave themselves. Okay. Oh, hey, come on, you guys. Yeah. Okay. We're not going to go to the biological reason, but you know what it is. All right. So I go to the
we don't get sexist in this stream.
I go to the main. Get this. I go to the main store where all the candy is, and it's all being manufactured, where the owners are and their brothers. And I said I start bringing up. He goes, "Oh, I'm sure that guy will never come out to bother you." And so I wanted to go to the front of the store to see the displays they were doing for Easter. And he goes, "No, don't go out there. I don't want you to go out there." And I'm like, "What do you mean don't go out there? I want to see what the store, your main store is doing." And I just kind of pushed by him, and there was that guy. And I said, "He's there. That's the guy that grabbed me. That's the guy that grabbed me. He's there." And he pulled me aside, and he said, "It's my father."
Oh. Wow.
I quit.
Yeah. As you should.
It's like, how dare you? You got a dirty old man for your father, and I'm in my mid-20s, and this guy's in his 70s, and he's a big guy, and he's pushing up against me, and yeah, that's a true story.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Said that's my father. He says, I know he's got a problem, and we're trying to deal with it. And I said, well, I'm not going to be his problem anymore.
Yeah, you know what? You deal with the problem by not having him in there in the first place. You dumb fuck.
and the guy had to drive like half an hour to get to my store. He didn't live near it, but I was kind of cute. But I always did the war paint. I always tried to look back then. Is good. Yeah, I was kind of cute. Kind of cute. I was okay. I enhanced what I got.
Chat,
you know what I mean?
In chat, if Simpmom is still cute.
They're going to say it because they want presents. Say what?
Oh my God, Biscuit. Come on. Holy shit.
What did Biscuit say? Grabbing those. Yes, I know. Well, see, that was a problem. When I was 13 or 14, I popped out. And I was a C cup. It's like overnight, it's like, holy crap, what the hell are these things hanging on me? And for a 13-year-old, that's not a good thing because you're just a flipping target.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh man.
Button carrot.
I'm sorry that had to happen to you. That's
okay.
Really
that's okay. That's okay. He didn't do any more than get a grab, and hey, if it made his day, have at it.
Well, you are very lucky that you are very your head is you have a good head on your shoulders. A lot of people that might have messed them up,
Hey, you cannot let what happened yesterday destroy your today and tomorrow. That's what people have to realize. When you let go of that baggage, what's it going to do? And if you can't find some help, I'm not going to let anything happen. Anything that happened years ago that wasn't good, I'm not going to carry that around. Why would I? I don't know how long I'm going to walk this wonderful earth. Well, I'm not carrying things I cannot change. And folks, please don't do that. Take the record off and put a new one on. You don't have to be saddled with terrible memories. Don't do it to yourselves. Please, please, please get some help. Move on. Life is so great.
That is not to discount the whole entire last interview where we talked about what made us who we are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and that was a fabulous. You two I was riveted. I sat in my chair last night because I wanted, Dad, he's still not feeling good. And so he was up in bed and I knew he wasn't going to come down or want anything. And I put my headphones on and I listened to the whole thing and it was fabulous. My hat's off to you, Critter, and you, Noodles. You handled delicate subjects beautifully.
Thank you so much.
And you know what? We're all flawed humans. We're all flawed.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to make a go of it in an imperfect world, we all are. We're all in the same boat. Let's just keep it afloat.
That's what I want everybody to understand. That we're all messed up in a different way, so we shouldn't be judging anybody,
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So we, I gotta know. Everybody know. Everybody's gotta know. Everybody's waiting for this question. How?
Oh God.
Do you feel about what happened? The biggest breakup in Twitch history. Simply and Babs. They were together for so long, and no one thought that Simply and Babs would ever break up. What do you think happened? What do you think happened, Simpmom?
You know what? I think that it's a perfect example of the banter, their online relationship. And then when you meet someone, it's like, whoa, this is never going to work, for whatever reason. And I did not, the one thing is that I don't want to intrude unless Simply ask for advice, and he does from time to time, but it's like, it's not my business what happened, but I just believe that it probably was never going to go anywhere because of the distance to begin with. Distance creates distance. It just does. And if you're living here and you can't be there, it's a huge void to fill. And I think that it looked good on paper. And I think she's lovely. She's beautiful. She's smart. And I think he's lovely and beautiful and smart. But it's, I just think it was, I was very curious too. I would have loved to have been down there to meet her. But I didn't see, do you know how like when you watch a movie and people have chemistry? you know, you go, wow, they're great together. Or
And then they
even
win
when
an
you
award
hit,
for it.
yeah. I mean, they're just. I didn't feel. Did you guys see the same thing? I didn't feel like they had the chemistry that they could be friends, absolute friends, but not more than that. What do you think? You know, I think that's.
I would never make such a comment. I think that their charisma was off the charts and they should have been paid $1 million to continue streaming.
Oh, but that would have been good. But you know what? Let's see where they both go, because we got to meet her. She's, you know, I was hoping that more would come of it, because they're both musical. They're lovely. They're a lot alike, but maybe they're too much alike. You know, it just, you know, when you know, you can't force love. You can't. It's got to be there. And what would have been terrible if one of them would have felt it and the other one didn't. And I think they kind of both felt like, yeah, we're kind of brother, sister, good friends, but maybe not anymore. You know, I mean, I just, you know, I wish them both well, and we'll have to see who the next young thing comes to town.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe they'll bring me down for another lover roast. That was hard. That was very, very hard, because I don't like to eliminate people and for them to take it personal. And I kept apologizing. They're all lovely and yeah, but it was fun though, right, guys?
That was a great stream. That was one of like the great streams of all time.
Well, maybe if Dave wasn't there, they'd have hit it off. Who knows?
If Dave was there, then you would have just been like, I can't play this game. I can't in good conscience say that any of these is a better match for my son. Dave
is like, nobody should be put together like that, because he seems like he's nice, he's handsome, he's statuesque, he's well groomed, he's got a personality. It's like, wait a minute, there's got to be a flaw in there somewhere, you know.
Have you said this to Simp Dad? Is he aware that you feel this way?
Hey, I can work up my appetite, but I always go home to eat.
Oh, he's got a lot to feed you, huh?
Yeah.
So since we are already talking about the streamer house,
okay,
and I know you might be angry at me for saying this, but we know that you're a very nice person. Mm-hmm. But do you know the game Marry, Fuck, Kill?
Huh? Say what?
So there is a game called Marry, Fuck, Kill, and you have 3 people, and you have to decide which one you would marry, which one you would have sex with, and which one you would kill.
Oh, it's God, a game. I hope Ms. doesn't do that to me. We'll probably...
I'm doing it to you right now.
Oh, you're doing it to me right now?
You have to choose people
all right.
House,
I'll do it. Okay. Oh God, who are you giving me?
So everybody in the streamer house.
Oh. Well.
In any order.
In any order. Marry, have relations with, murder, kill.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I'll marry Miz. I like Miz. He gives wonderful hugs.
That's a good thing to look for.
I'll sleep with Russell, because I think he'd be a hoot and a half.
Russell is a hoot and a half in bed.
Russell, yeah, I think Russell would be good in bed. Yeah. And Slick. But I like them all. This is terrible, because Slick he's so sweet. He's got those bedroom eyes. You know, Slick is, I couldn't kill Slick. All right, I'll have a threesome. I'll have Slick and Russell, and nobody dies.
Hey, I knew that was going to be the end. I knew you were too nice to do it. No, you already made your answer.
I can't kill Slick. No,
you aren't going to kill them. Don't worry. You're just deciding who's going to get killed.
Yeah, but I'll take Miz. Yeah, Miz to the altar, and the other 2 will just have a, you know, maybe Clint will pop in, and it'll be a trifecta.
Holy Clint. Man,
no,
he doesn't even live
Stevens.
in the goddamn house.
No, not Clint Stevens. Oh, no.
We were talking about streamers.
No,
I thought that
Jay Cookie's got it right. She knows who I'm talking about.
I thought you had a thing for redheads.
I don't think I've ever dated a redhead. I would be up for that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, there isn't, there isn't any physical thing about a man that would rule him out, because I'm more interested in what's between the ears, in terms of dating. And so what's on their head or what's hanging down below, I don't give a crap. It doesn't matter. And good grooming.
So no superficialness. No superficiality.
No. Well, you find that out pretty quick.
Yes. It's hard to hide if you are a fake person.
That's true.
But fake people love fake people, so I guess it's easy to get together.
Yeah. Then they can have at each other. Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Bixit is well groomed. I think he's looking for you.
Yeah. That is so important, guys. I don't want to smell
like people looking like a homeless person?
I don't. You know what? It is an odor. There are some odors that are turn-ons, right? A freshly clean, and there's some odors that could gag a maggot. And like Simp Dad's feet never smell. He's so well groomed. I love it. I mean, he smells good everywhere.
Oh my.
It's good. It's good like old country. It's good. Not like bowling bond, but it's good like old country.
Well, remember, I don't know if you remember, Simpmom, but one time we were talking about the pheromone party. Do you remember that? Where I was saying that the way it's like you know how you and
where you smell people. Where
it's a
people
dating thing, but you put your shirt in a bag and then people smell it, and then that's what they make their decision on. At least you would know what you're getting yourself into, right? You would know what you were going to be smelling waking up in the morning, and if you liked it, then that would be a pretty nice thing to wake up to, I think.
Well, but I mean, hey, come on. You think anybody is plowing the back 40, slopping the pigs, and then going to put their shirt in the bag? Or do you think that they're freshly groomed, putting on nice cologne, and they're making the shirt smell good? Nobody's going to put,
No, the
rule smell like cow manure.
You're supposed to sleep in your shirt, and then that's what you give.
Yeah, but they're taking a shower before, and they're dusting themselves with a little cologne. They're not plowing the back 40 and slopping the pigs. So they're all going to smell good.
How about you if you slop the back 40 and plow the pigs?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So Simpmom.
Yeah.
You make a lot of gifts for people, right? And
yes.
Bertha helps you out a lot with that.
She does.
What do you think is either the worst? I want to say the worst thing that you ever made with Bertha. I don't want you to have to be mean or feel bad if it was like someone else's design. What was the worst thing you ever made, or just like the worst mishap that ever happened with it?
The worst thing I've ever done. Interesting. Bertha did do her own thing one day when I was doing a hat. And so she started here and then she jumped up so that the hat was a reject, but somebody on the stream wanted it. It's like, can I have it? Can I have it? It's like, yeah. So that hat went to Canada. So someone's got the reject.
It's like a misprint, right? Worth more.
Yeah. I'm trying to think when I teach it, the men's group. No, I mean, it really, I've not done anything that I hate. I have an I Love Binny shirt from years ago. Anybody that followed simply for years knew the Binny thing. No, I mean, I made the first time that I ever embroidered anything. And of course, I am self-taught. I never had lesson one. I was a hospice nurse, and we could wear street clothes. So I would always wear comfortable fitting clothes because, we're bending over and pulling people up. And I had these beautiful T-shirts. And so I was going to write my name, Gabby, just on there. So then I didn't have to wear a name tag, because sometimes when you're so close to people, you might, especially when they're unconscious and that. I wanted everything to be soft. And so I put the shirt in the hoop, and I wrote on it, and it went through the back. I didn't know how to hoop it right. So I completely ruined a shirt by not opening it up and doing the front to back. So that was probably the worst thing I've ever done. But you know what? I learn from my mistakes and I don't do them again. And there was a couple of jackets for Simp Dad's association that he'll never know. I had to throw them out because I ruined them.
Nothing that you have ever been ashamed of making because the design was just so bad you didn't want to make it?
There are some designs. I used to stitch out everything before, and now I don't. Now I go to reputable sites where I know if I'm buying a design or I'm digitizing a design, I'll run a practice, or I'll buy it from a company that I know are flawless designs. So learning curve stuff, yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I guess that, you're not going to have anything that you are too embarrassed about if you really love doing it.
No, right? I don't think I've done any really X-rated.
Ooh. Oh my God. Simpmom, I wanted you to say so bad that you did the robe in the fucking Booty Cheek Man video. Oh my God, I wanted that to happen so bad.
That was hand done.
Yeah, it looked
somebody did that by hand. And when you put that out on the Discord, and when I went to Discord, and I thought you meant the Simply robe that I gave him. I gave him a Mario robe that has Simply on it, like the big, the Superman S.
Oh yeah,
that's on it. And I thought you meant that. And so I went to find out where it was, and then I saw it, and I went, I'm going to have to ask him. Does anybody know who did it? I don't know who did it. And I think I don't know. Yeah.
So since we're on that subject, then, Booty Cheek Man versus the Booty Cheek Bandit. Which one do you prefer?
I prefer the Booty Cheek Bandit song, but I prefer the video from Booty Cheek Man.
Oh,
and I think that video is out, but I think Voluptuous is his best song.
Oh, I was gonna ask you what your favorite video was from Simply. So
the Voluptuous is the best song. That and the 16. When he ran the events, was it the 16 tournament? That was a great song.
Oh yeah, the freshman 16.
Yeah, that was the best song ever. I mean, when you get a melody stuck in your head and I mean, I can still hear that. And I said to him, why don't you just change the words and make it something else? It's such a great melody. No, but he's coming to, that would be good.
Did he actually do that?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, I think I missed that one. Hey, Sex Me, how you doing? So wait, is it really true that Benny started the whole Simpmom thing? Like you were only on the stream because you were like in love with Benny?
No, I will tell you where that came from. Simply was starting to get a following. And Benny was out there, and a lot of people knew about Benny. And so I in the morning, or when Simply came down, he said, come in my room and say, I love Benny. And I said, Benny, come in your room and say, I love Benny. And I said, yeah, okay, I'll do it.
Like, what the hell is a Benny?
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know what the heck it was. And so I came in and I love Benny. It was just, and then, of course he's streaming and people hear this old woman yelling for Benny. And then that kind of took on a life of its own. When at the Games Done Quick, Simp Data and I, when they were in town, we'd pop in. And one of the announcers said, yes, and Simpmom and Benny. I mean, it was, and I've talked to Benny. I've emailed Benny. I've not talked to him in person, but I have sent him multiple gifts. As a matter of fact, he asked me if I would do a shirt for him, a Benny shirt, and I've done numerous things for Nicole. So they've gotten a lot of gifts, and yeah. But then it was just kind of a fluke thing, and it's kind of like, when something happens, like the long chicken sandwich, it just takes a life of its own.
Oh my God!
And yeah.
I'm sorry to totally go off of the interview here, but that was like the best run of a joke that I've ever seen in my life. That shit was amazing.
And if you guys haven't seen it, you should go to YouTube, because the best part is Simply cannot keep a straight face as people are asking him questions. He's laughing so hard through it. What direction was he walking? Well, he walked in. And dude, if you remember, when Simply, I had some questions to ask. You guys gave me questions to ask for Lover Host, if you remember. And one of them was, if you walk into a room, what direction are you walking? Okay. And that was strictly because of the long chicken. And I realized that if any of the girls followed Simply, that they would know that that's from the long chicken.
Right.
And Simply and Ryan saw the piece of paper. He goes, "Mom, you're not asking that question."
I remember that. He got so annoyed.
He got very annoyed. And I said, "Yeah, I sure am." The chat came up with it. And I think it's a good question because it would show me who's a true Simply fan.
Yeah, that was a good one. And it was hilarious too.
Yeah.
Bixit says that he's one of the people that started the Binny meme 7 years ago. So congrats.
Oh,
Bixit.
did you really? Oh, the Binny meme. I love Binny. You know what? I have a cake when the first time, it's on Twitter too. The first time, I wonder if I can bring it up. I only got 16. This phone is such a joke. It's okay. When Punky and Cheese showed up for the first time, I made a cake and I spelled Binny wrong because I didn't know how to spell Binny. I spelled it I didn't know it was Binny. I spelled that, I think, in Binyy, I think I said it. Or maybe I put 2 I's, but I definitely spelled it wrong. And I have them holding the cake that I made for Binny. And then I made Binny cupcakes that I'd send to the SGQ for Simply in the room because those guys, that they'd have something to eat. I made Binny cupcakes. Oh, and this thing is for Binny too. Maybe I can find it. I had fun with the Binny thing, and he liked it too. Hey, any publicity is good, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Isn't that what they say?
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and look what it turned into, right? It turned into
it
turned into you streaming.
It took on its own life for a very long time, and it was just it was comical. And I'm always up for fun. That's come on, you guys, you gotta laugh. Let's all have a good time and laugh.
Okay, well, if you want to laugh, then no phallus, dick versus cock. You gotta make a decision this time.
Dick versus cock.
It's gonna happen.
I gotta go with dick.
Chat, let's see the dicks.
Chat, chime in. What are you gonna vote?
Chat loves dicks.
Dicks.
There's gonna be dicks all over chat right now.
Cock sounds cocky. And
it sounds like cock.
And some people say caca, right? When you poop, it's caca.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Is that a New York thing?
No, I think that's just like a baby thing, right?
Well,
I've heard like little kids say that.
Yeah, I go caca. And that sounds too close to that. Like penis sounds too close to pee or nuts.
So yeah, dick is its own world. I mean, word.
Yeah.
Dick is its own world also.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take dick. Right, guys? Yeah, they like the dick.
My God. Guys.
What is going on?
That has to be a clip.
What? What's got to be a clip?
I believe you just said, I'll take dick.
I'll take the dicks. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Guys, have fun with the clips.
Have fun with them. Have fun with them,
But don't make anybody look bad.
Yeah,
don't. By the way, I have to commend you on your amazing ASMR clip.
Oh my God! Did you see? I was looking like a flipping cow.
I
should have practiced that. There was nothing sexy about that.
Wait, are you telling me that throughout your life you don't have enough practice for that, Simpmom?
I don't. Okay. Let me preface this by typically when things like that arise, I don't have a mirror looking to see what there's not a mirror on the other side to show me that what I'm doing is sexy or not sexy. And so when I saw myself licking the popsicle, it was like, I look like a flipping livestock animal. I mean, it's just like, I'm surprised somebody didn't put up a hey icon. That was not sexy. Sexy.
I bet if a lot of guys saw what they look like when they're, doing some licking, they probably wouldn't be too happy either.
Yeah, right. Oh, so I made this for Binny. These were cupcakes.
Oh my God.
And those strawberries are in the shape of a bee.
That's awesome. That's beautiful.
That was for Binny. Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was a cake underneath.
No, it's a doily. I love to garnish. Garnish is good. Just give me stuff to garnish with.
Nice back-to-back clips, guys. Thank you so much.
What are we doing? Our front-to-back clips, what the heck?
There's two clips that came out back to back. One is called Dick versus Cock. One is called I'll Take Dick. So very good, guys.
There goes my KitchenAid sponsorships.
Yeah, there goes your partner.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I don't care. I don't
Twitch
care.
is going to cancel us.
Huh? Hey, you know what? It's all good. It's all. If somebody got a chuckle on it, it's all good. I can't find that picture I'm looking for, but that's okay.
Yeah, and anything that you are not comfortable with can always be deleted anyway.
Don't care.
Okay, you heard it, guys.
Don't care. Oh, I'll take Dick. Oh my God, Dick versus Cock. Oh my God. Rob McCown, what are you laughing at? Fun carrot. Oh, we have fun, don't we have fun?
Of course. Yeah. That's one of the mottos of this stream is that you gotta have fun. If you're not having fun, then stop it.
We're not doing it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So hey, a little Twitch test for you.
Uh-oh.
What does no cap mean?
What does what?
No cap.
No cat or cap?
Cap with a P.
No cap.
Yeah. What does no cap mean?
No cap. That means that when you're wearing your headset, you shouldn't have a baseball hat on. I don't know what that means.
Correct.
I don't know what that means.
That's just something the young people say. So it's just a
funny, what does it mean? What does it mean?
Oh, I don't know. I'm too old. No, it means I'm not kidding.
It means I'm not kidding?
Yeah, because there's an emote called Kappa, so they shorten it and say no cap, because Kappa means that you're like laughing or you're kidding.
And this is I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm gonna flunk them all. Okay.
No, this was just one that I just thought of now because I was just wondering if you knew that.
Okay.
We talked about this favorite Simply video. Oh, do you have a favorite other than a music video of Simply's?
Other than a music video,
or just the long chicken?
I gotta tell you, I think the long chicken. He has so many videos out there. I love it.
You doing Super Mario was pretty amazing.
I thought for sure. Okay, so when he asked me if I would do it, I'm going on YouTube. It's like, tell me what the buttons mean. You know, what am I supposed to push? Because I didn't want to look like a complete imbecile, even though I did. But that's okay. That's okay. But I'm trying to practice. Like, okay, this button does this. This button does this. And it's like, didn't matter. I still took me 45 minutes. Was it 45 minutes to get a star?
That was why it was so amazing.
And I was trying because I'm thinking, wouldn't it be? Well, the first time Simp Dad took me out to play golf, I got a par. So it's like, what? I could get lucky and get a star like right away.
Wait, did you know how to golf already?
No.
How the fuck did you get a par on the first time you ever tried golfing?
Hey, when I was in high school, I was one of the first picked on whatever sport they were playing. I'm an animal.
So you're just one of those people that's like good at whatever they try, huh?
Yeah, my dad always played, but my dad always took us out into the fields and we played sports and ran and played baseball. He was very, catch this, and he'd now go further back and catch this. Now run in and get the ground ball. I played ball a few years ago down at the old people's camp. Yeah.
That sounds like a mean term that somebody else would say. The old people's camp.
I play with kids my own age. We trick or treat for booze. It's all good.
I remember that. That's amazing.
If everybody did that, everyone would we're kids in the 70s. We know how to party.
So wait, do you get like candy laced with certain things? If you're from the 70s?
It just became legal down there, but I've never.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like taking a trip.
No. I don't want to no. You can sell this urine. No. Good stuff. No, I don't want anything where I have to lose control or someone's got to watch me to tell me I'm not crazy. That does not appeal to me at all.
I get that. If you know that it wouldn't be fun, then there's no reason to do it.
No, that does not. I don't think there's anybody tripping out down there. I mean, we're beyond. We've kind of. I mean, I'm sure that there's people down there that probably have done it, but our age, we have a hard enough time knowing why we went to the other. to get something, much less have something impaired where the room is like a forest or, a fantasy. Yeah, right.
You got to remember to take the normal pills in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. Ones. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, Simpmom, I know that when you first started, there were a lot of people before you had mods who went a little crazy. And even after you have mods, people still like to screw with you a little bit. What do you think is the funniest thing anybody ever said as a troll? Because I know nothing gets to you, so no one's going to actually upset you.
When I first went on, of course, they were insulting me, and it's like, and it's like, oh, give it your best shot, kiddo, I don't, you know what, and okay, let me just say this. This is why I think young children, even young teens, really need guidance streaming, because there's people out there that's all they want to do for a reaction, and they're going to be terrible trolls until they get a reaction. And some people have have fragility they're already dealing with, and then you get these people saying cruel, unnecessary things to hurt them. And but you don't get to be 66 and, oh, he said that, he said what's my size cup, he says I'm an antique, he says I belong there. Who gives a flying flip? You know what? Be a duck. When water hits, it rolls off. Okay? Don't take it personal. You got some clown out there. Maybe he was raised by abusive parents and that's all he ever heard. And so he's turning around and sending it your way. And I appreciate my mods. My mods are the best on Twitch. They absolutely are. Because it's like, you want to play those games, you might get away with one time and you're out. Because this is going to stay a safe community where people aren't targeted for any reason. And so I don't get, give it your best shot, because you get one until Vism sees you or Biscuit sees you or Critter sees you, then you're out. But I think
Simpmom, the question was, what's the funniest one?
The funniest one. I think the cup size was good.
Your response was probably the most. That was like when somebody heckles somebody and somebody comes back with like the perfect response. That was like the best thing you could have possibly said.
Yeah, 16 ounces. I like 16 ounces. Yeah, come on. Really? I'm somebody's grandmother, for crying out loud.
Hey, maybe that's his fetish. That's another stream, but
Yeah, right. But guys, when you stream, know that they're going to be out there, and hopefully you've got some good mods. And Simply is pretty good. He for years he said, he goes, Mom, I don't typically throw anybody out, because once you ignore them, they'll go away on their own. But sometimes when you throw them out, they'll come back as somebody else. And he's trying, I think, to be, when you're that big of a streamer, he's in the big leagues.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't want to, I think he tries to please the masses the best he can, and not, and he's very even keeled. He does a great job. How he could get that world record by talking the whole time. Can you even believe that, Noodles?
Oh yeah. We've talked about that a lot, how it's just like, just getting good enough is ridiculous, but then to do it on stream with all those people, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Amazing accomplishment.
Oh boy, it sure was.
And
that's something, so, and it doesn't matter who comes after. The fact that you held a world record for almost a year, that's pretty darn good.
And that's the thing. Most records in Super Mario 64 do not stand for as long as Simply's did.
Yeah, his stood a long. Yeah, that was nice. And that was the timing of that was perfect, because he caught Mrs. I just before he got the world record. Ms. was wanting to learn about Mario, and then he got the record, and then Ms. wanted to meet him. So I mean, it's like all the cards fell in exactly where they were supposed to, and the heavens opened up. I mean, and then Ms. said, hey, you want to live down here? I mean, it just was. It could not have happened better, and he's been such a good kid. He's the most respectful and loving child. And it was like, as a parent, to watch, Simp Dad and I gave him wings. We made his wings strong, and now he's flying. And I couldn't be happier. Yay.
You obviously
but
did
I miss my
job.
boy. I miss my boy.
Dixit wants to know if you'll do ASMR with the ear microphones. I don't even know what that means.
Where do I put those?
I think he just wants you to lick your headphones or something. Some weird crap like that. I don't know what the hell Dixit is up to.
It'll cost you. Well, isn't AMSR also just you talk like?
Oh yeah, we do ASMR on this stream all the time.
Whisper. Yeah. That was when I looked back at that video and saw me licking that thing. It's like, oh my God! I'm surprised you guys weren't nauseous.
I think you made.
I need to practice my. I need to practice my licking. I could tell that. Okay.
I think the trolls have been waiting for a day like that.
Well, I hope they got a good present. That was funny. Well, I was having problem after problem after problem. And with Sip Dad, he's got a setup here. And the reason that I have problems is that I move, because it simply goes, Mom, don't you just turn it on? And I said, no, because the setup moves to the kitchen. The setup moves to your room. The setup moves to my room. The setup moves to your father's office. And during that time, when you're reconnecting things, you could have issues. And I'm getting better at it. Chat was so helpful in helping me decipher what was going on. And then the power cord wasn't pushed in enough and it just went blank. And it was like, oh, goody. So I had to reward you guys. You hung around and waited. And so it's like, and simply left that microphone, that big mic. He just bought it over Christmas and he left it in his room. And I thought, this is perfect. This is what that girl is always fondling and licking. And hey, whatever rocks your boat, right?
I guess. So how do you feel about that? How do you feel about hot tubs in general? How about that? Let's start there. Hey, how do you feel about hot tubs in general?
Hey, you know what? If they're using that to pay, get to my age and you're not going to want to see it. I mean, you got it, use it. I have no problem with that. Who are they hurting? If they're making money. I mean, I just don't have a problem with that. If it makes them happy. Now, if they were being forced to do that, I would have a problem with it. But if they're doing it to pay the rent or to go through school or that's their job, have at it.
You heard it here first?
Yeah, I don't. And the hot tub babe that was on for Love or Hope, the reason that she went is that she was so much older than Simply. She was in her 30s. And that was the only reason that she went, or she'd have been probably one of the finalists because I liked her. She was pretty too. Seemed very nice.
Indeed. Okay, Simpmom. This is the other question that everybody's been waiting.
Oh boy.
I know you were just asking about one of these on your last stream, so now you know what both of these are. Stemhead versus milk. Which meme?
Stemhead versus milk. I'm going with the Stemhead.
I would have to agree with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Stemhead. See, I knew it was dirty. I knew that because it's like there's so many wonderful people in Simply's chat, and they try to protect me or try to shield me from some of this stuff. You don't have to do that. I've been around the block a couple of times, but I love it. I love it. I just love it, and I knew that it was dirty. And I was trying to think, geez, what else is kind of white? That could be licked. Okay. No more callers. We got our winner. Yeah. Figured that one out.
Yeah, I heard that. I was driving home and I just had the audio on and I heard you talking about that. It was nice.
Well, they wouldn't tell me what it was. And I knew chat would tell me.
Well, they don't want to tell their mom.
That's okay. That's okay. I've seen that. Yeah, it's okay. But I knew it. I just wanted to have it. I just wanted to have it validated.
So, I think this is a good time to switch over. We were just talking about how, people watch you because they feel like you are their mother. So let's go off into my office and we'll have a conversation about what it's like to be a parent. How about that?
Okay, have at it. Have at it.
Okay, ready? We're going to go.
Hey, if I'm coming in there, I want to lay down on. You know how when you used to go to the psychiatrist, they'd have the couch.
Yeah, well, you are on the couch. I mean, you can You can lay down where you are in the TV, you know,
Okay.
and then you'll
Oh,
kind
all
of be
right.
laying down.
All right. All right. All good. All good. All
But you're on
good.
the couch. I have you nice and comfy.
Oh, good. Okay.
Nice and cozy.
I like the way you said that. Makes me feel all warm and tingly inside. No,
Good.
just kidding.
We've moved on to the nice and calm portion now. So, people, this is when you guys can tell me, or Simpmom, at one of us in chat so it highlights, and just ask anything that you ever wanted to ask a parent, your parent, just a question about parenting, children, anything that you thought is too weird, too awkward.
Yeah, ask away.
So the first thing I would like to know, because I have seen a lot of this recently, is misbehaving. So I wanted to ask you about like the different steps in age. So how do you deal with the youngest when they will not stop crying?
Well, you have to find out why. All right. I mean, there's typically a reason why especially a baby that can't communicate any of. Okay, so that's all they have. So when you have a newborn, and I've learned this as I've gone along because my oldest son was a colicky baby, and that's all he did was scream and cry no matter what I did. And we took him to a chiropractor. I did not. I started out as a pediatric nurse, and Larry's best friend's a chiropractor. And he says, I said, I'm not taking a newborn baby to a chiropractor. And he screamed all the way there, and we screamed in the waiting room. And then the doctor put him on his belly, and he has that little thing that kind of looks like a stapler, and put it in his neck. It made a staple sound. It just pushed it in. And then the baby stopped crying. But a lot of times when babies stop crying, that's because they're cranking up to really let it go. They go, and then they really wail.
Yeah.
Rolled the kid over, and he smiled. And then
Wow.
he explained to me that sometimes during the birthing process, there's nerves that are connected to the stomach, and there's pressure on them, so that the baby always feels like they're having an upset stomach and they're uncomfortable. And that was the answer to that. And it was like overnight done that. So, when they're little, they do that. And then as they get older, I one thing that I did with every one of my babies, and some dad will tell you, is I rocked them in my arms to sleep every single night. Every one of my babies, I would sing to and rock every single night. And
As
so
you should. That's beautiful.
Well, and then I would wait till they go into deep sleep. And that means you could pick up their arm and it just falls, or that you could see that their eyes are moving under their lids. Because if you put them to bed before that, they'll wake up and they'll start again. So I would wait until they went into flop, until they were deep sleep, carry them up, and then put them to bed. But every baby, my second son, they were 4. He did not like to cuddle like the other babies. It didn't matter. It's like, get used to it, buddy boy. This is the routine here. You're in this house. You're rocked to sleep every night. We had a sitter one time, and we didn't have her for very long. And she goes, I think you've got to let your babies cry it out. I said, you're wrong. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it. And the twos, how people say terrible twos. Twos are fabulous. Twos, from 9 months on, before 9 months, before 6 months, they're a lot of work. They take your energy, and your time, your sleep schedules. It's just terror. It's not as much fun. And I told Simpdad, I said, because I had a daughter, when I met Simpdad, and I said, Larry, the first 3 months are going to be in the toilet. I'm just going to tell you right now, I'm recovering. The baby doesn't understand that it's nighttime and we sleep now. And it's just not going to be like it is in the movies where baby and the baby sleeps at night. And no, they don't do that. They don't get it. And so you prepare yourself that it's going to be rough. But then when they do that belly laugh, and they laugh from their toes, they start paying you back. Like from 4 to 6 months on, I'll take anybody, I'll give them back. 0 to 3, you give them to Patsy, because my sister loves new ones. So we'd have it matched. And but the twos are, they're like a little sponge, soaking everything up. And
oh yeah, definitely.
I love the twos. It just Not terrible at all. Just delightful too.
So, regardless of age, how about when they become a toddler and they start throwing temper tantrums? How do you deal with that? Especially if you're like outside somewhere, like around people, when the kid knows that the more crazy they act, the less you want to do anything because they're acting so crazy,
Well, I remember my daughter had a temper tantrum in the Walmart. And she wanted something. I forget what it was. And she threw herself down and started crying. And I said, well, you can just stay there. I'll see you. And I just took the cart and kind of went out of sight where she couldn't see me, but I could still see her. And then she said, Mama, Mama, Mama. And I said, you're not going to behave like that. And the one thing with my kids, when I would take them to the grocery store, is that I would explain to them when they were little, this is a grocery store. This is not a toy store. If you can behave, you will get a treat. If you don't, you won't. Very little problem in stores with my kids because I set the expectations up before we went there. This is what you're going to get if you behave.
So always have something that you are going to reward good behavior with then.
Yeah, so I mean, because that's all they get. They don't understand. I bribe with treats. Yeah, I did.
But thank you for the question. I'm adding that to the list. But next I want to ask you, like the third phase of that is when the child is old enough to know what they're doing, and they know that when you ask them to do something, they just keep saying no and they become stubborn. And I don't mean just one time. I mean, if your child is just a little stubborn mother, like what do you do at that point?
Well, all kids are different. They're all different. Simply was as easy. He was never, he was the easiest baby, toddler, child. He was zero. He was just zero work. But no is, you have to, you know what? I don't believe in being their friend. I'm their parent. I know we have some acquaintances that are friends with their kids and would, in their teenage years, smoke weed with their kids because they were their friends. And now their kids, no, there was no underage drinking in my house. I'm the parent. Because you know what? My rules are when you get out in society and you break the rules, there's huge consequences. So you learn right away that there's things that you can do and things that you can't do. And you're a parent and you've got to teach them the boundaries. Because, I want this and I'm gonna throw a tantrum because you're not getting it. We have to make kids accountable for their actions. Good actions get good consequences. Bad actions get bad consequences. But we were never physical with kids. We didn't slap our kids. Think and share. Time out.
So you said something that I wanted to ask you about, and I'll just skip to that one now. I know you said obviously there was no underage drinking or anything in your house, but how do you handle that if you, like, say you just notice that one of your kids is coming back late, you could smell maybe weed on them, or that they're drinking when they shouldn't, they're too young. How do you handle it if you know that they're doing it?
Well, my kids were, and my nephew was writing me, my kids were not allowed to hang out. That means they had to have a destination. When I was a teenager, the kids had hung out across the street to where there was a creek, and they would do drugs because they hung out. My kids were not allowed to hang out. Where are you going? I would check with the parent that they were going to. They had a destination. So I kept really close tabs on my kids. To this day, well, Andy said, which shocked me, he was in a car accident when he was a senior. And he said he had a bottle of booze in there. I said, where did you get it? So obviously they did do things that I did not find out, that I'm finding out later. But Larry and I were both very active, naughty teenagers. And so we got away with everything. My kids got away with squat.
So you
we were eyes on
because you knew what a teenager wanted.
Oh God, yes. And I was not I remember my daughter, she wanted to drive to the, and I said, you are not driving to the Mall of America because the traffic is horrible. You're a young driver, isn't happening. And I went through her room, and I found pictures of her and her friends at the Mall of America. And that's the last time you're using that car for a long time, Touch. You just you violated what I told you to do. No car. See ya. You but no buts. I told you not to do it. You did it. Now you're not having the car because I can't trust you.
Well, that's
maybe you have to be the parent. You have to be the parent. And sometimes your kids don't like you very much, but I want, I'm very proud of my adult children. I'm extraordinarily proud of them, but I wasn't their friend. I was their parent.
Yeah, I guess that's the way you gotta be.
Yeah.
I knew people like that too, who you were talking about, who they would, smoke with their kids and stuff like that. I had, the puppeteer had a friend that their parents would just go out and let them have a party. Like, they would know that they were having a party. They would be, okay, we're not going to say what you can and can't do. And they were like a bunch of 16-year-olds. They're doing literally everything they wanted to do. And it was just like, I guess the parents' view was, if we give them a place to do it, then at least they won't be getting in trouble. They won't be somewhere illegal, so it's a safer place. But man, I'll tell you, those kids got fucked up. That was not good.
Yeah, no, there were no underage parties. No, where we were not present. That did not happen. I mean, kids are kids for a short time. Now, somebody brought up a question about genetics or nurture. I think genetics are huge. I think that you could do all the right things and still raise a social deviant because it's inherited. I absolutely believe that. Or I just do. I just do. You could do everything right and still have a child that does terrible things when they grow up. I mean, I think you can. It's a little bit of a roll of the dice, but we've always been hands-on. And Simpdad, the one thing that we don't do is we're on the same page. If it's no, it's no. If it's no with me, it's no with Simpdad. We don't play those games. Important. We don't play those games.
Because you know how it's always, oh, can I do this? And then you say no, and then you go into the other room. Oh, Dad, can I do this? Did you ask your mother? No. When she already said no, and then you trick your parents against each other.
Yeah, you have to be on the same page with your kids. They're just kids for a short time. And, and I had good parents, but I was the wild child. They're in bed and I'm out with having a good, we were out in the country and it was just, you'd sneak out. Simpdad was the same way, and so we knew, and boy, our kids didn't get away with anything. If they did, like the bottle in Andy's car that he said was in there. That's news to me because I've never seen my underage kids drunk or even alcohol breath or even go out to get it. And fortunately, a lot of the video games came around at the same time where they could be having fun with friends and never leave their bedroom. So that was, and people are like, yeah, but they're not outside enjoying. Well, but I know where they are. They're safe. They're having fun. They're being stimulated. And, it simply was a swim instructor and a lifeguard. And he played tennis. I mean, he was not just sitting in front of a computer. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's impossible to know, right? You could do a million experiments and you never know if you're going to raise the next Jeffrey Dahmer, even if you fill the house with love. But
yeah, I mean, you absolutely could. You could absolutely. I mean, how many times have you heard that the serial killer? Oh God, he was a nice guy and he raised a family. I mean,
well, they say that, but usually their childhood is horrible. That's the thing. They usually trick people, but usually the childhood is pretty bad. But I'm gonna say, I do agree with you on that. But I don't think that anyone that you raised could have turned out like that. So I think there has to be something to it, right?
Well, I hope so. I hope so. I just, we love our guys. We love them. And our only regret is not having 2 or 3 more. Would have been good. We had a lot of fun with our babies. We had a lot of fun.
That is just too much energy for me to even imagine.
Yeah.
Running around once you
have 3, you can have 33 because you're outnumbered.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
can you imagine 33 of me running around?
Well, that's a lot of buttered noodles.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
A lot of nudies. Little wisecracking nudies.
So this is something that I have been wondering about, and I've talked to people around me in real life that have been wondering about is, how do you know when it's time for the next step for your child? like potty training or something like that. I know talking and walking and things are up to the child when they do it, but what about the things that you decide for them?
No, you don't decide when you're going to. They've got their own timeline for potty training. It could be because I have a friend that her baby spent 1 year in diapers and then was potty trained, and they're either ready to accept that or they're not. What I did with my boys is kind of a neat trick. Is that I would throw Fruit Loops in the toilet and they would aim at them with a pecker. So it made a game out of it. So
to pee. I was like, yeah. What the fuck?
Oh no, we don't eat out of the toilet. But I made a game out of the, here, now squirt at the yellow one. Now squirt at the red one. So that
that's not bad.
Mama, I got to pee now. Okay, let's get the Fruit Loops and throw them in the toilet and let them pee on. I mean,
that's and then really not bad. I like that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it worked. It worked. You just throw Fruit Loops in there, get them a little they have to stand up on like a little stool because they can't reach, and then they're aiming, and then you're teaching them about aim and then as soon as they get that down, you teach them that they're not standing up anymore. They're sitting and pointing the pecker down.
Because what Simply.
Oh, what little boys do is that wherever their eyes go, their pecker goes. And so you're cleaning the back of the wall and you're cleaning everything. So it's like, that's the right thing to do, guys. When you go to somebody's house, just point your pecker down and sit on the toilet. All right.
Yeah, because when you go to somebody's house, point your pecker down.
Because you splash. Do you know? We had an electrician come to this house. Okay.
Oh no.
We needed a heater put in the bathroom, or one of those vents that's also a heater. And he asked if he could use my restroom. He peed all over everything. I mean, it was like, how do you come to somebody's house and you pee all over everything? I mean, it took me like an hour to clean that up, and I'd already paid him. But it's like, how do you do that? I mean, in my bathroom, my kitchen and my bathrooms are clean. Now, the rest of the house, the beds are off. But those are clean rooms. And you peed all over my toilet?
Simply. Oh my God, I called you Simply. Simpmom. What you might not know is that it makes you more of a man if you don't aim correctly. That's what makes a man, Simpmom.
Huh? What? That he pees all over the seat so that a woman can sit in it? That makes a man?
He's such a man that he can't control his ding dong.
Oh, if there was, there was a urinator. Okay. Simp Dad years ago, he's always been a management. And they had their bathroom where they worked was the same bathroom that customers would use in this business. It wasn't a store. It was like a computer thing or something. And he went in and there's pee all over the seat. There's pee. And he didn't know who did it. But, of course, he wipes it up. You always like to wipe up somebody else, right? I mean, that's always a lot of fun. And then I think it was just like a one stall kind of place, maybe 2 stalls. And then a couple days later, he walked in and there's pee all over the seat. Next time a guy came out, he looked in and he found a urinator and he confronted him. And the guy
was watching him while he was peeing?
No. He comes out of the Simp Dad goes in and there's the urine all over the place.
Okay.
And so Simp Dad approached him and it's like, hey, you can't do this. We've got customers that use these bathrooms. And the guy was like, yeah. So Simp Dad went in and transferred him. That day he got transferred to another place. No, it's not happening here. It's not. You won't listen. You can drive a little further to work. And he transferred him that day.
That's what I would do.
And we refer to him as the urinator. But guys, when you go to somebody's house, just sit down. All right, just sit down. All right, don't give the mama extra work.
True.
Right.
True.
It's always fun to sit.
Right. If you happen to make a mess, then fucking clean it up yourself.
Like Corgi says, they're marking their territory. Just sit
down. Have a good
down.
night, sex me.
Yeah. We're simply talking about that too. Sitting down to.
Oh yeah, everybody always makes fun of him, and he's like, "No, you don't understand. It's so much better."
Mm-hmm.
So we all know where he got it from.
Yeah. And they have those, in public restrooms, they have those little paper seat down, right? They're in the men's bathrooms
True,
too. Are they in the men's bathrooms too?
No.
Wait, come on, guys.
No, they're really not. They don't give that shit for guys.
Really?
I mean, sometimes they do, but in most bathrooms, it's pretty nasty for a guy.
Really? You don't have the nice little things to sit on?
Dude, I've walked into a woman's bathroom where I worked before, and it was literally like 10 times nicer than the guy's bed. There was like fucking hand soap that smelled good. There were air fresheners. The floor didn't look disgusting. It's ridiculous how much better they make it look.
But then why don't they just give you a flipping hose to stick your pecker in and you just pee in the hose?
You know, I've actually said that. That would be a brilliant idea. I think everybody should do that. And the hose just like goes out your wall.
The hose, and the hose has water.
Exactly.
You just go in the hose.
You and me are on the same exact page.
Okay.
I literally have thought that before, but I thought I was just a psychopath.
Well, women have been known to pee on toilet seats too. I mean, I remember we were going up in a helicopter with Simply over the Grand Canyon. And it was and that's not cheap. Helicopter rides over the Grand Canyon aren't cheap. And it was a wonderful little place. And they had a cute waiting area. And they had a very clean bathroom. And it was a family. I did not notice who came out of the stall. I just went in. And typically I sat down and she had peed all over the seat. And had I known who that was, I would have tapped her on the back and gently said, I sat in your urine. Just to let you know.
Ugh.
Okay.
That's a fucking disgusting thing to have to say.
I would have said it politely. I would not have embarrassed her. Just to say, you know what? You can, if you're going to straddle the seat and not sit in it, then please check to make sure that it's okay for the next person.
Yeah, I get.
But I wasn't sure who did it, and so I wasn't going to. But it was the family that went up before us. So one person in that family, and I was not going to embarrass the person that didn't do it.
Well, you know,
but had I known, I would have.
You say you don't want to embarrass them, but some people really need to be shamed into it. I knew someone, and I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry to get disgusting, but I knew someone who literally wouldn't even check if the fucking toilet flushed sometimes because he did not stay in the bathroom long enough to see it because he didn't wash his goddamn hands after he took a shit. And some people need to be shamed into knowing how to act like a fucking adult. It was so disgusting.
Wash your hands. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I literally would go in there and there would be a piece of shit in the toilet. And I would be like, there is no way you don't know if it flushed if you are there washing your hands right next to the toilet, you disgusting asshole.
Well, the first week of nursing school in the lab, we washed our hands. And we washed our hands. And I mean, that was the first thing. Is that we had to learn how to wash every bit of our hands.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
I mean, and then rinse the water so that it's not you're not reinfecting or you're getting all the stuff off your hands and the friction and the warm water and the soap. I mean, it was just part of the lab was washing hands to prevent germs. And and we as humans, what do we do when we meet somebody? We extend our hand.
Oh,
and what if they were just picking their nose or picking their toes?
Don't get me started on that shit, man. Shaking hands is one of the most disgusting human interactions that I have ever heard of.
We ought to hit elbows. We ought to just hit an elbow.
COVID really changed that for everybody. People only used to do the pound when they were like really dorky. And now people do the pound all the time.
Good. The pound is good because you're not going to get poop on here.
Right. Yeah. It's better now. Yeah. COVID normalized it.
Yeah. To use the pound. I like the pound.
You heard it here first.
The guy's butt carrot. Nobody washes their hands. It's so gross. Ah.
I know. It's fucking. I used to have a friend who, when people would come over to his house to they would come over to watch the football game, and if someone went in the bathroom, he would literally walk up next to the bathroom door and wait for them to be finished, wait for the toilet to be flushed, and he would listen to see if they washed their hands, and if the door opened up without the sink turning on, he would literally turn them around and tell them to wash their hands.
Oh, wow. Good for him.
Now that's some that's some embarrassment right there.
You know what? We did years ago, you guys remember Popcorn Guy? We had a New Year's Eve party, and we found I don't know, something to put under the toilet seat that when you sat on it, it played like this royal march. So you were sitting on it. And then we filled our medicine cabinet with marbles just to see if somebody was going to open it. And all the marbles would come. And somebody opened it.
Of course they did.
And somebody opened it. All of a sudden, all these marbles are hitting the porcelain.
Where was this? Where did you do this?
Why? Oh, it was just like a new party, drinking. But you know how, like, sometimes, have you ever used somebody's bathroom? It's like, oh, what's in their medicine cabinet? Have you guys ever looked?
See if anybody was going to peek?
Yeah. If anybody was going to peek. And sure enough, somebody peeked and all the marbles came pouring out all over.
That's amazing.
It's like we didn't care. We just it was fun. It was fun. And then if you use the bathroom, I don't know if it was when you flushed the toilet or when you sat down, it played like Queen for a Day, kind of this real regal sound as you're using the toilet. It was a New Year's Eve party. We just wanted to have fun. But that was funny. All of a sudden, it's like, what's that noise? And somebody goes on their bathroom. They come out, oh, I kind of looked in your cabinet. It's like, no, really?
Like, no, the person before me did it.
Yeah, you hear marbles hitting porcelain. That's
Yeah, for 5 straight minutes if you filled it up. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. And that was like we had to put like papers in there, fill them up, and then keep closing the door so they wouldn't come out. It was just fun. It was something to do.
Yeah, something to do. I was at a party and I needed something to do. Where did you get all the marbles? Where the hell did you find all these marbles?
Oh, you buy packs of them. You buy packs
you went
of them.
and got them? This was premeditated?
Oh, yeah. I don't have any marbles. We just thought it would be just to fill the medicine cabinet with marbles.
I thought you were just like sitting on the couch at a party and you needed something to do, so you just did this.
No, it was all premeditated. And the singing. She had kind of amusement park in the bathroom when you go. It was so funny. They opened up the thing and all these marbles flying off. It's great. We were waiting all night for it too, and we got it.
How you doing, Cook?
Fun.
Good to see you back. Okay, so let's get back into the parenting crap, the real crazy stuff. So you talk about having the sex talk, that everybody needs to have the sex talk all the time. Mm-hmm. So the first question I have with the sex talk is, how do you know, because I'm sure there's a different age for each child, how do you know that they are ready to do it?
When they start getting hair, when the pubes start popping out and
so as soon as the hormones come, huh?
Yeah. Because that means they're getting horny. So let's nip this one in the bud. Yeah,
I guess
when they start sprouting.
I guess they're never gonna come to you and be like, okay, I'm horny now, time for the talk.
No, you see the pubes start or the under hair, the hair underneath the arms.
I ain't looking at the pubes.
Either or. I obviously the boys' pants down and say, hey, let me see if you got pubes. But you just notice they start to get a little hairier. Yeah.
Okay, so then the real question is then, what I know you've talked about like kind of what to say, but I'm really wondering, like, honestly, what the hell do you say? How do you start that conversation? Like, what are the actual things you would say instead of the ideas that you would talk about?
Well, the things I would talk about first was masturbation. How that it's good to, because you're going to continue to make, for a boy, okay, you're going to continue to make semen and sperm. And it's going to have to be released because you're continuing to make it. So you can have wet dreams where it's going to go off on its own, or you go in and take a shower and you masturbate. And that's when I bought the whole time my boys were teenagers. Well, when the first one got that age, I got a subscription to Playboy. So they would have beautiful women books to look at to help them. And I bought a subscription to Playboy, and I just stopped it when,
I know
my
you've told
boys
me
were
that
old
before,
enough.
but I think that's just that's just hilarious. I love that.
Well, I don't want them looking for porn and I don't want like hustler magazines, nasties. This is beautiful posed women. That's all it is. This is what they look like, so there's no mystery. This is a beautiful posed woman, and use this to help you with your practicing your manhood. And so that was the first thing.
I gotta go back to our other place for just a second to ask you: has Hugh Hefner been in any of your dreams?
Have I been one of my dreams?
Has Hugh Hefner been in any of your dreams?
Oh, he's icky. He's icky.
Okay.
He's
we
icky.
can go back to The Office.
Yeah, no, I don't want. He's had everything. He's had more butt than more ass than a toilet seat. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, no, he's be too icky.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Oop, I didn't mean to swear, guys. Sorry,
the
I didn't mean to
masturbation
swear.
thing comes first, right? How would you start talking to them about how they are interacting with other people? Or here, let me ask you this.
Okay.
When people hear the sex talk, quote unquote, I think what they imagine is that their parents are explaining to them physically how sex works, that they're saying you put your penis into a vagina. Is that part at all of your talk?
Okay. You know what? We had cable here. So they had a very good idea. You know, when growing up, okay, I had Andy and Mayberry and I had Lee, and June never went down on war. You know, I mean, so it's like we saw nothing. We saw nothing. We never even saw their bedroom. They never showed it. So there's a lot less to the imagination. So I think that all of my sons, through watching cable, had a very good idea of the making out, you know, the man's on the woman. And then, you know, I took it from there. And we discussed it. And I was more wanting them that if they felt like my sons when they were dating, I said, get in there, practice your manhood, keep your hands off her. And when you're done for the night, come back home and practice your manhood again. I said, you know, don't. When I was
go to the bathroom on
a
date also and practice in the bathroom.
Well, they could if they needed to. I mean, that would be all right. But I mean, when I was on a date, guys, a lot of the guys were taught that, oh, I can't touch myself, so there's something you got to do. And it's like, what? You know, I mean, it was different then. And
that sounds like a stupid ass excuse to try to get you in the sack.
Well, I mean, they were idiots back then. They were idiots and one-trick ponies. And I wanted my guys to be respectful of a woman, very respectful of a woman. And then it was, when you get to that point, you don't have to do the intercourse. You can do oral sex. You've got fingers, you got toes. I mean, and it was just important to understand that, you know what, you could let your hormones take over. You have sex with a girl, all of a sudden she's pregnant. Now what are you going to do, buddy? Because you are responsible and you will take care of that baby forever. And I will too. But let's not
have
go
sex
there.
With her hand, then you won't get her pregnant. If you have sex with her hand.
Right. And so condoms and things, you know, you have protection. Is she on something? You know, it was just informing them because I wanted them not to deal with the teenage pregnancy. And fortunately, it never happened because I was open with them and it never happened. So I'm very happy with that. I know a lot of people, it's a nightmare. You've got a baby having a baby, you know, and what happens to the poor child, right? Children are supposed to be loved and wanted and cherished, not an accident. But I mean, there are some happy accidents. Don't get me wrong. But I'm talking about teenagers, you know, as they're exploring, they don't even know who they are yet. And they know they're going to be with this person that they've had sex with at 16 for the rest of their life. They haven't even become the person they're going to be yet. So
it should be definitely a decision. It should not be just a surprise. I mean, you know, if you're ready for it, a surprise is okay.
Biscuit, yeah. Practice your manhood, you guys. I mean, my God, that's why you got two hands. When one gets tired, use the other one.
Biscuit, are you so backed up that you can't make any decision? Are you just like, I can't tell if I'm going to get chunky or smooth peanut butter. I got to go jerk off in the corner.
That's right. Hey, it's a stress relief for women too.
Oh,
you know, practice for women. Practice your womanhood too, because until you know how the apparatus works, how are you going to show anybody else? Right?
That's true. There's some people who don't know how to achieve climax, you know, because they don't know their own bodies.
Well, you know what? When I was young, I was not quite 16 the first time I indulged, and it was like so unpleasant. I didn't do it again for years. It was like, what's the fuss about? This is awful. This didn't feel good.
Oh, don't tell him that.
This this was terrible. It's like, I'm not doing this again. I mean, it's like, and I told my boys, I said, you don't leave the table until mama's done eating. Meaning you guys, you know how it is. You put the key in, you start the car, you guys are ready to rock and roll. Hey, all our tires are flat. All right. The tires are flat. We're out of gas. So you got to get us ready and primed. Women, it's slower. It's slower. And it shouldn't be, because you guys got something to put more blood in than we do. But that's how it works. And there's nothing better than both of you arriving to the destination at the same time. I mean, that's a skill. And boy, that's when it's the best, when you get there at the same time. Takes practice.
I never thought that I would say that, but I agree with you, Simpmom. I agree with you on your thoughts on climaxing.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best, because otherwise you got to get her to the destination, or she's got to get you. Well, usually it's you first, but
yeah,
you know,
one of you
is
just, like, fuck that, I'm tired now.
Yeah.
Claps in chat for having an orgasm at the same time.
Yay! That's like, yes, we're done, and it's fabulous. It's like
yes, we're finally done with that disgusting shit.
It's like the sundae with a hot fudge, the whipped cream, and here's the cherry. We got it all. You know, that's the best. But you know what? You've got to know each other's body. That does not just happen. If it just happens, then man, usually it takes a little bit of knowledge. And guys being patient. Are you close? Are you, honey? Are you getting there? And you can, and there's telltale signs. So if she says she did and she didn't, you can tell, because she'll always have like a little rash if she's gotten there. Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say that.
Did you notice? Do you know that?
The flushing, yeah.
Yeah,
I know
the flushing across up here, yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, I always thought that was like just a joke in TV. Like, how could anybody ever be tricked by that? Like, there's such a difference between someone being like, "Oh yeah," and like it actually happening. Well, I don't understand
look
how
at that
anybody
movie.
know.
Look at the movie, right? Was it when Sally met
Harry met
somebody?
Sally?
Yeah, Harry met Sally, where she's in the Dell
and it sounds so fake.
Yeah. I mean, I think we probably all have done that before.
I won't lie, I faked it. The puppeteer has faked it before.
Now guys can't fake it.
I did.
You guys,
I did. I had enough.
You had enough.
I had enough.
Done. Oh, here's somebody. They've done it during bad sex. They faked it. Button, not me. Okay. She screams, "Oh, Larry!" She's done. As long as it's that old Clint, Yeah. Oh, wow. That's funny.
Yeah, but not you, because you got Critter.
Yeah, that's right. I'm sure Critter doesn't. No, I'm sure that you guys got that one part figured out. Yeah, but that's the best. And like how understand each other's bodies, and that's when it's the best. I mean, sex is adult play at its best, at its finest. And boy, when you master the art of that is it's really good. And it's such a stress reliever, and it helps you sleep better. And it's a good thing. It's a very good thing.
It's strange that some people don't have a good relationship, and then they'll just both use that to like feel better, but then they'll hate each other. You know what I mean?
I think that would be very hard to not like somebody and to have them. I couldn't do it if I didn't like them. It's like, nuh-uh.
I mean, isn't that's basically what happens before people get divorced, right? They
I
just
don't
hate
know.
each other.
I mean, well, yeah, I guess you become distant, but the distance would include not having sex. I mean, just.
Yeah, probably. Probably.
Yeah.
So that's about all that with the sex talk. It's about how to interact with others is the basis of the sex talk, not the physicality of it, really.
Well, it's guys tend to, as ladies, as we get older, date, we form attachments pretty quick, but guys take a while. And that's to form the attachment. They just do. I mean, that's just part of it. And where was I going with this? And it's just important to have a good friendship. Sim Dad was we were just so ready to meet someone to settle down with. But I was not, like I told you guys, anybody can get married if you set your standards low enough. And I wanted everything. I wanted, the brass ring of a man, and got it. Did good.
Big falls in love on the first date. Manic, what happened? What a bad experience in what way?
Do tell. No, girls have an attachment faster than Biscuit. You're right. You don't. I mean,
not
because
Biscuit,
you're not.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Biscuit has the attachment.
You fall in love on the first date? Really? Wow.
You're sexually confused and still are. You had sex once. Well, if you only had sex once, then that's not a weird thing to still be sexually confused. You may have just not enjoyed what you really do enjoy in life, and you just don't know what that is yet. You don't always know right away.
And it might have something to do with the person you were with. Like I said, the first time I did, it's like, what's the fuss? I thought there was more. I thought, once we did the deed, I'm thinking, okay, now where's, and it was like, that's it? This is
I mean, come on, for two
that's
kids.
It?
I mean, 2 kids is kind of just like, they're just looking for what shape fits in something else, and they're just like moving around for a little while until it's over. Like, they don't know what the hell they're really doing,
Yeah. And I was just because when you're the first time, there's some discomfort, and it's like, that's all I was left with was discomfort. And I thought, I'm not doing this again. Stop. It was years until I did. It was no good. It was no good.
So here's something that I guess you didn't really have to worry about, and obviously, it'll be more obvious after I answer the question. But
okay,
would you consider, if you had a child now, would you consider restricting their access to technology or social media specifically?
There'd be no telephone.
No cell
yes.
phone? Yeah,
no cell phone, but I would have if I could get a cell phone where they could call me and maybe their friends, but not the ability. I think I don't know about texting. No camera, no internet. Just
so
a phone.
A flip phone that could just make calls and text basically, and can't do anything else.
Yeah, but I wouldn't be giving it to somebody younger than 12.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would, right. No smartphone until you're 18, or else you'll just be your face will just be in it for the rest of your life.
Look at the people that have been bullied, and the girls that have been talked into exposing themselves for pictures. Yeah. Because you don't have the mind. You're not. What a psychologist said, that you're not the person you're going to be till you're 30. That was their view, is that you're still evolving, and how can you make these decisions when you're a teenager? And when you do something stupid, and then the guy hates you, and then the entire ball team has got the picture of you, and you're embarrassed, and then your parents find out. I mean, don't send pictures. Just don't do it. If you do, and I told you guys this the other stream, make sure that you would show that same picture to your grandma, because you could be butt naked and still have your arms and your knees up where you're all covered. Leave a little
some
bit.
Some people have weird fetishes, all right? I don't know. People are into grandmas.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But I think that's huge. Is that don't send a picture of your pecker. Good Lord, I saw one of our employees years ago. Doesn't work for us anymore, but I saw her husband's pecker, when she was showing me baby pictures. Oh, just scroll.
Oh my God.
Because she had a baby, and I said, what's she look like? Oh, just scroll. I've got all these pictures of, beautiful, 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 penis. That's a big penis. And that was, and I said,
so this is the baby, and then this is how it was made.
And I said to this person, I said, I see that your husband is, she's like, What do you mean? I said, I just saw his pecker. She said, oh no. Your boss's wife sees your husband's penis. Don't
Maybe it was on purpose. Maybe they were trying to get you guys into a wife swapping situation.
She was horrified. She was horrified and embarrassed. Well, you know what? Don't do that.
Yeah,
just see See it
Why
in
do you
real
need
life.
to carry that around?
Yeah, really. Just don't do it. Don't do it.
So a lot of people are talking about this. I was going to ask you this, actually.
What?
This is a very hard one because there's probably not much you can really do as a parent. But if your child is being, thank you, Hustle 3, if your child is being bullied in school, and I don't mean just like, a little bit, I mean like every day they're coming home and you could tell that it is weighing on them and they don't want to go to school.
I'm in the principal's office the next day, and I'm asking for change. And I'm also asking for that person that's bullying to be pointed out, and also in counseling and talking to it's like, get their parents in here, buddy. This kid is destroying my child's experience. Get the parents in here. Let's get them involved. Let's see why they're being a bully. What's going on with them. And there is no, this has got to come out before my kid. Look at teenage suicide in that. No, I'm going to be at the top of the roof screaming to make something happen where this isn't happening. And
so
if they wouldn't do it, I would say to Simp Dad, we're getting them out of this school. I don't care if I got to drive them to another school. They're not going to be, if the school will not do something, I'm physically removing them. Because you know what? It's terrible when you feel that you don't have anywhere to go. And you wake up with knots in your stomach because you're going to get bullied. Why is that a good experience? If my kids were bullying, I would want to know about it, because I would be reading them the flippin' riot act. Then what the hell are you doing with that? I want my kids to be the opposite, where when they see the bullying, they step in and they say, you're a bully and it's wrong. That's what I want. And you have to advocate for your kids. How terrible to think that somebody's going to school and getting picked on the whole time. And I think schools are better than they used to be. I think they're a little better with that. But it's a squeaky wheel that gets the grease. And you got to know that I'm going to be in there every day. They're going to be so sick of seeing me that they're going to do whatever I say. Squeaky oil gets the grease. Don't look the other way. Don't say, oh, that's okay, honey. Just ignore them. Words hurt, damn it. And they're not ducks. They're not full grown ducks that it just rolls off their back. They're not. We need to advocate for our kids. We need to protect them when we can. Did I say enough?
Yeah, definitely. I was reading Jay Cookie was talking about how something happened to her, and even though there was evidence of the people bullying her, they still didn't do anything about it. And that's I was going to ask you about that, but you said you would just take your child out of the school
if the school wouldn't do anything, and I'd go to the school board. I'm not going to go, okay, you can't do anything. That's okay. No, you're going to do something, because if it isn't my kid, it's going to be another kid. So let's nip this thing. And if they didn't, it's social media is very powerful. And people, putting it out in the community that we have a principal looking the other way, that wouldn't sit very good.
Yeah.
Wouldn't sit very good. And so I would be absolutely, and if they wouldn't do anything, I would find a school to bring them to and let them know that my child was bullied and this school would do nothing. And I want you watching out for my kid. All right. Because I want their school experience to be pleasurable and to be good, and not something that the poor kids have nuts in their stomach on the bus. Then they're being bullied. They can't concentrate. And then they come home and they can't sleep. Come on. And these bullies need to be addressed. I would want to know if my kids were bullying. I would want to know.
That's the thing, right? I think most people think, oh, well, if there's a bully, then their parent is also probably a bully. But probably the parent is very embarrassed.
I would be. I would be. No, if it was one of my kids and they said that there was, man, I tell you, Simp Dad and I be up in arms saying, we better never hear that you're ever doing that, and just, there's going to be consequences for your actions. There's going to be, and why do you think that you're doing this? What did this kid do to deserve this? you're the big man because you're bullying him in front of everybody?
And then there's
It
also the
just,
thing of like, okay, well, you better not tell your parents, right? Because then if we're in the principal's office together, then I'm going to make it even worse for you next week,
no, it's got to be blown up, Scott. Everybody's got to be involved. Get the social workers in, get the school psychologists in. Let's make it safer for our kids and not turn the other cheek and say, oh, he's just saying that he's not going to. No, words hurt. Words hurt. Yeah.
Purple Shim is saying that her son told her son never to lie because she always has a back. If Simpmom was there wouldn't be as much bullying, of course. Of course.
Oh, and it just, well, you got to protect your kids. You got to protect them.
Well, it's all about, there's a lot of people in the school system who just get so jaded and they just don't give a shit about the kids anymore. They get in for the right reasons, and then some kids act like a bunch of little assholes, and then they just say, you know what, screw all them, and they don't want to help anymore. It's very sad to see.
Yeah. Yeah. It's sad because when I was growing up, I didn't know of any teenagers that committed suicide. And now that it's become rampant, that people feel that they have nowhere to go and they're and the only way out is death. Suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem.
Yeah.
Things are going to change.
And you guys know from last week, those of you who were here, that it's hard to get around those thoughts, but if you are in that place, there's really only one thing you can do, and that's to get professional help.
Absolutely. They're trained. They're a doctor. They deal with this. It's just like having a woman, I've got a UTI, I'm going to go to the gyno and help me because he knows he can fix that. Okay. It's just that it's not visible to anybody or even yourself, and you're living in it. Realize that, what, I think I might need to talk to somebody. And you might not get the best person the first time. If you don't feel better after the first visit, then I'm saying find somebody else, because not everybody graduated at the top of the class. Not everybody is a perfect fit for you with the issues. But if you don't find a little bit of improvement, get another therapist. Reach out to your friends, self-help book, get the help you need, because you know what? Life is good, folks. We're always going to have issues. We're always going to have things that go wrong. We might not have enough money, or the kids are sick. I lost my job. Things are always going to be thrown at you. Be a young tree that bends but never breaks, and know that you're going to get through it.
Good one.
Because life is good.
Button, I'm sorry to hear that. Puppeteer had similar experiences growing up, but I'm glad things got better. But I hope the things that are said to you roll off your back nowadays by your mother.
What did I miss?
Button said she got bullied by teachers a lot, and her mom reminds her about it.
Well,
we really had two moms try to punch each other out. Holy shit.
Wow. Sometimes in life, we don't get the perfect parents. We get people that are flawed. And Simpdad always says, you learn something from everybody that you meet in life. You learn things to do and things not to do. And exactly. I do, but you know what? Try not to carry that forward. Carry it forward positive in the fact that, you know what? If I ever have kids, I'm not going to do that. Or I'm not going to treat people like that.
Use it as an example of what not to do.
Yeah. Because it would be wonderful to have been born in a lavish home, and you were surrounded with wonderful parents and loving parents, and there was never money issues, and everything was peaches and roses every day. Well, that's not real. We're all flawed humans trying to get through an imperfect life, and we need to. And that's why you need to laugh and move on. Get that baggage, drop it.
Manic.
And move on.
Manic. If that's not a joke, Manic, then you really, I want you to go try to get help. Because that's not a good thing to be saying. No, that's not safe.
No, get some help. Get some help. Guys, I grew up on a farm where we didn't have money. My mom made all of our clothes. the two things they could afford were a decent pair of shoes, and we went to the dentist. But there were no vacations. There were no lavish anything. And I always wanted more. That was my thing, is that I want more. I grew up, I wanted that white picket fence. I wanted that loving husband. I wanted nicer things, and I earned them. Now, it took Sip Dad and I to get into our 50s to get everything we wanted. But you know what? We grew up without. And I just made it happen on my own. But if you are suicidal, and please, please, please pick up the phone and get some help.
Thank you, Bixit. Thank you, Bixit. Manic, you should call that number.
Absolutely.
Not only can they talk to you in the moment, but they can set you up with someone who can help you. The puppeteer has actually called that line before. So I really recommend you do that.
Life is good, but it sounds like you're going through a patch. And that's exactly what it is. It's a patch. It's not the rest of your life. It's just a rough time now. You're going to get through it. Get the help you need to persevere and get through it. Please, please do that. Do it for me. Please do it for me.
And Manic, you say you're not sure what help you need. They will let you know. You tell them what's going on. They're going to ask how you feel and what's going on. And they'll know who to refer you to. And, like Simpmom said before, if you get set up with someone and you don't hit it off, or that you don't think that they're helping you in the way that you need to be helped, don't just cut it off and say, okay, It didn't help. Try to find somebody else who just understands you a little bit better. That's all you can really do.
And during this time, are you getting good nutrients? Are you sleeping well? Is there external factors that are hard to deal with? I mean, all of those can be addressed. All right. You are important. You deserve to have a wonderful life. All right. You just got to reach out. Grab that lifeline out there. It's out there. Grab it.
Indeed. And Manic, if you ever need to talk on Discord, I'm always there. Remember, I'm not a therapist and I don't do any therapy. But, if you are in a bad place, let me know. But I really implore you to get some help.
Don't you think, Noodles, sometimes just saying what's going on just makes you feel a little better. You've acknowledged it, and it's like, okay, I got it out. Instead of keeping it bottled in. Instead of keeping it bottled in. Because someone might see a different point of view that you hadn't even thought of. And it's like, oh.
But here's something that we were talking about on last stream, is that a lot of times you want to talk to people who are close to you because you feel like there's more of a reason for them to listen. Right? If you go to a therapist, you're thinking, well, they don't know me, so they don't care, or something like that. But if you talk to people that you know, not only are there a lot of things that you can't say because you're not comfortable saying, but there's a lot of things that might, change people's perception of you because you're given a little too much information about how your mind is working. And that's why we talk to therapists, because they can just put the wall up between the person. There's no judgment there. There's no nothing.
Right. I completely agree, because a lot of times, oh God, I shouldn't have told my mother I did that. Now she's going to remember that. That's where a therapist is like, okay, yeah, go on next. Tell me what's on. Yes, they're not personally invested in your life, and they don't have an opinion. And be open and honest. When you're in there talking to them, open and honest, please. They can't help you if you don't. They cannot. Unfortunately, they know a lot, but they don't know what's in your brain. So you can share with them what's going on, and please get some help. Let us know how you're doing, please.
Yeah, Manic. I hope you continue showing up to these streams healthier and healthier each time I see you. Oh, well, we're having another good stream where we're letting a lot of stuff out, everybody, and I'm very glad that you're all comfortable doing that in here. I love when you guys can do that. I hope it's making you feel a little bit better, even though you're talking about things that I'm sure you are not happy to say and don't make you happy. Like Simpmom just said, sometimes saying them or just typing them out, you just get it off of your chest at least.
And we've all had rough patches. A lot of times when, it's like I feel a little down, it's okay. And I'm not talking depression. Depression's it's a completely different. But you wake up and it's like, oh. It's like, geez, did I get enough sleep? Was I eating crap? Did I take my supplements? I kind of self-check to see, why am I feeling like? Because it's not normal to feel down all the time, or down, we go up and down all the time. But, there might be something that's missing that you can fix, but that's not depression. Depression is completely different. That's something that's you've got to see an analyst. a psychiatrist, a psychologist for the help, and please do get it if you feel depressed and it's not going away. That gray cloud's hanging around all day. Get help. Get help, please. Sign of strength to get help.
That is true. That is true. A lot of people think it's a sign of weakness. Literally, they say that
no,
exact
no,
phrase,
no.
that going to a therapist is like a weak thing or something like that. But, you know, if you are brave enough to understand who you are and accept who you are, then that's all it is. There's nothing more to it than just knowing who you are and going, like, people have said this before. It's like if you broke your leg, would you think that you were too much of a wuss to go to the doctor? Or
Right.
it was too wussy to go to the doctor? You know, you would go. And if you didn't go, you and everyone else in your life would call you a fucking moron.
Right.
But nobody
right.
does that with mental health. Nobody thinks.
Well, because they can't see it. They can't see it. And so
true.
it's
That is
like
an amazing point.
If they can't see it, maybe it's not there. It's not like your head blows up and turns orange. And it's like, oh God, he's depressed. You got to go. You don't see it. And that's one of the reasons. But they're professionals who have spent years studying, and they can help you. They can absolutely help you.
So something else that goes kind of with what we were talking about, but so I think as a teenager, I was gonna say, so a lot of people have children who they feel are like overly emotional, overly sensitive. They like cry at everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
that was me. That was me growing up.
Really?
My mom said I could be a professional crier.
So if that was you, did you find any problem with that? If one of your children was doing that, like it'd be like, oh my God, why is there? You shouldn't be crying over this again. You know,
we're all different. You know, not all. I mean, some of us are square pegs, and you can't shove us in a round hole. We're all different.
So there's nothing wrong with it then.
Well, I think if it becomes an issue where their quality of life is disturbed because all they want to do is sit and cry, then it's like, well, I got to get to the bottom of this. But if they're overly emotional, I cried at the drop of a hat. My mother was the first one to tell you. And I turned out to be a hospice nurse. I mean, but I outgrew that, but I've always been sensitive, and I feel, like when somebody is harming an animal or so, I mean, I go crazy. I mean, it's just, I want to, stop. I remember, years ago, a dog fell out of a truck and was being dragged.
Oh,
no. Well, no. As I was off the bus, and I ran up to my mom, and I'm trying to tell her what's going on between tears. She got in the car to try to get them, but it was too late by the time they got there for this poor animal. But it was so devastating to me. And I couldn't get it. It just things like that.
Well, that's something that's like, I feel like that's definitely something that a child should cry after seeing. That is horrific.
Oh man, that was, and my feet couldn't run fast enough to get my mom. And I'll take that memory to my deathbed. But I mean, cruelty.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that overly sensitive at all. I would say that's perfectly
but
normal.
I mean, cruelty to animals and children and old people,
that's horrible.
Vulnerable, just overwhelm me sometimes that people can be like that, and it brings up such sadness and anger in me. I mean, but I guess anybody would feel. But I was a very sensitive child, but it did not interfere. I was the first one to cry. Always. Just how I was born.
So let your kid do what it wants to do. So here we go. This is, I think, maybe the hardest one, which is, okay, we've been talking about, obviously you need to get help when you need it. But if your child is growing up, right, and they're still in the midst of growing into who they're going to be, and they go to a psychiatrist or whatever, or a doctor, and they are diagnosed with something, how do you make the decision if you should believe it right away? It's hard to say, to explain what I mean, but say someone diagnosed your child at like 5 years old with ADHD, right?
Mm-hmm.
and they want to put your child on a bunch of medication. Do you think, okay, well, maybe I need to have a different relationship with him or her, and maybe things will change? Or do you just say, okay, that my child has that, and trust it right away?
Well, fortunately for us, we have the internet. So if my child is ADHD, I probably knew it before that he was diagnosed. I mean, because with me, if you only have one kid, that's hard. But when you've had several kids, you kind of recognize when one isn't developing or they've got some tendencies that are unusual. And so what I would do is I would do my own research and go, wait a minute, let me find out more. My brother did research. He had a brain tumor, and he did research, and he went to the doctor. He goes, I think I have brain tumor. The doctor goes, you don't have a brain tumor. And he goes, well, I think I do. And he did the research, had the MRI. He had a brain tumor, 27-hour operation or something. But I mean, he diagnosed himself. So I think if I trusted my doctor completely, and I've been very fortunate to have wonderful, wonderful doctors. If I didn't, I would absolutely get a second opinion. But in terms of ADHD,
well, that's just an example. I was just saying any kind of anything that they would diagnose a small child with, who can't really
I think I'd want a second opinion. I'd want a second opinion. Would want a second doctor. I would go into a second doctor without telling him what the other doctor said to see if he came to the same finding.
That's smart. That's smart, actually. Yeah,
I think that's what I would do. Is not say, "Hey, so and so just diagnosed my kid with ADHD. What do you think?" I would say, I would bring them to a second doctor and say, "Do you see does my child have any issues?" And not give them that. And see, if they came up with the two, I'd be going, okay. And then there's a lot of, I'm into the holistic healing in that. So I would do the natural first before I would put my kids on any chemical. I would say, could it be diet related?
You did the chiropractor, right?
Yeah, I did the chiropractor. If I took out all of the sugars, would this help the behavior? I mean, I would start that road first before I would just pop a Ritalin in the mouth. Is to is there something I can do naturally first, and then just see if the classes can be, well with ADHD, what can the school offer to help me with this? What can they do? Could he be in a smaller class? Or I would see what. And I would always seek a second opinion if you've got if a child, if it's something that you can't find on the internet. I mean, like I would probably, if it was cancer or something, I would seek a second opinion. I want to hear it from somebody.
Yeah, I mean, if specifically, if someone tells you that you need surgery for something, you should always be getting a second opinion.
Yeah.
Krita, I'm sorry to hear that, Krita.
Yeah, it is just, but there's people like Larry's dad was had like he was a wonderful man. He was just a wonderful man. A little bit of a nagging cough, and I think I talked about this. And he went to the doctor, and the doctor had cancer. He was doing everything, but just had a little bit of a nagging cough. We wanted him to see a holistic person, and maybe even coffee enemas. I mean, I know that sounds bizarre, but that cleanses the liver. I mean, I wanted to seek alternative anything before going down the chemo route. From the time he started chemo, he was up here living with a little cough. As soon as he started chemo, and they burned a hole in his esophagus with radiation. I watched this strong man. We lost a piece of him every week because of the chemo and the radiation, because he would not, and my dad would have been the same way. My dad died very suddenly, but if my dad had been diagnosed with a cancer, and I said, Dad, let's just try some holistic. Let's just see. Well, look at, was it Suzanne Summers has had cancer, and she did the holistic stuff, right?
I have no idea.
I mean, there's
I know who she is, but I have no idea.
But you know what? At the end of the day, okay, I mean, I couldn't be a hospice if I didn't believe that. But still, it's like I would explore other avenues before I would do the chemo and radiation. I mean, that's just me. That's just me. You guys have to make that. That's a tough decision, and you have to find out everything you can before you make the decision. You know, we're so lucky to have the internet. We're so lucky to have that. But educate yourself and advocate for yourself.
So Hustle 3 said something interesting. I often struggle with that myself, expecting ourselves to be and behave like a quote-unquote normal person when we are not. Accepting who I am and what I have is a big step in setting myself up for success. I have said this on my stream before. There are
no normal
billion types of people. That's how many people there are on this planet, and if anybody tells you you are not normal, then they are not a good person to be talking to in your life, and that's just the bottom of it.
There is no normal. We're all imperfect. We're all imperfect people in an imperfect world, making a go of it. There is no normal.
If you try to act normal, you will be so incredibly fucked up in your life in every way. You will be fake every second of the day, and it will just be so much harder than just freeing yourself and being you. And like we say all the time, if you're not hurting anybody, then it doesn't matter. So if normal to you is weird as hell, but you're not hurting anybody, then be weird as hell. It's so much better than being what you think is normal anyway. Weird is so much better.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. We're born the way we are, folks. We couldn't put our order in like we do. I would be 5'4", 115 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes, an IQ of 160. If I could have put my order in, hey, I didn't get it. I lick like a cow. I didn't get it.
I've never even thought of a cow licking until you said it.
Oh yeah, they lick with their whole big tongue, and actually they lick a lot with sex. So,
well, there's a fetish. Okay, I have a few more questions about the parenting thing. If you're still
sure, okay. We're good.
So good. This is a tough one, and this you must have had experience with because you have more than one child. So how do you deal with one child being more successful, more intelligent, more artistic than the others? And that doesn't mean that each one has one of those. That means, maybe one has all of them and one has absolutely none of them. How do you balance that and make sure that they feel as important,
Well, we do have that in our family where Simply is kind of pole vaulted out fame and fortune but you know what? Every one of my children are unique and so special in their own way. And I think that you can't measure that. You know what I mean? I mean, in terms of oh, well, your brother's this and that. No, I love my kids are all absolutely stars in my life. And it doesn't matter that one makes more money or more fame. That makes good for them. But I mean, I don't say, I talk about Simply more because he's a streamer and I'm a streamer. And you guys know me through him. So, but like my bear, I love my bear, the biggest heart in the whole wide world. I love Tool. Tool is he's such a unique and a wonderful, I'm so proud of him. I'm not going to play that game where I favor anyone over the other. They're
what if one of them
wonderful.
Actively, without any of your input, if one just feels like they, aren't as good in life or aren't as important because they see this other person can do so much.
Well, I would hope that they would tell me that they feel like that. And
so communication is number one.
Yeah, that they would bring that up to me, and it's like, well, this is, if this is what's making him happy and this is successful, have at it, because we all determine the course our lives take. We're on that road together, and if you want something different, then you make it happen. It's just fate. It happened. I did not know when he was 17 and trying to play Mario that he would ever. I knew he was good. I didn't know it, and then he he took off, got it, and now he's living a great life. But happiness is foremost, and happiness comes from it comes from within, not from $1 million. It comes from here. So I just want my guys to be happy with themselves, and if they're not, let's figure out a way to that you could only change that. You're the only person that can change your. I can't make you happy. I can make you miserable. But I mean, I can't make you happy.
It is so much easier to make someone miserable than happy, isn't it?
Oh God, yes. Oh, you betcha. You betcha.
Purple, I think it was, who said this? Yeah, Purple Shimmers was responding to someone saying, and if people don't accept how you are, they don't need to be in your life. I heard this, it was a great example from somebody that I know who was former, not an alcoholic, but knew that every time that he drank, it just was not a good idea. And he had to stop drinking, for his own sake and for the people around him. And he was talking about, well, it's hard for me to go out on dates because I'm not, fun because I can't go out into a bar. And people were like, well, that doesn't matter. You could just, not drink, or you could just, explain what's going on, And then he goes, yeah, well, then what do I say? That I can't handle my alcohol, and if I do, I turn into a freaking moron? And then the person who was talking to him said, yeah. And then if they don't like that, then they're not the person for you. And it's so true. It's like you have to be as real as you really are. You can't be someone else. And then if people don't like that, all that means is that they're judging you for something that doesn't really make you in the first place. So yeah, get the hell out of there.
Right. And too much alcohol does not bring out the best of it.
No, definitely not.
That's destroyed families and life. And if that's, and it's like, that's not the real you. If you've got to put out a drinking, how long is that going to last before someone says, man, I don't want this? Be you, because you'll find the one that you want to be with is the one that accepts you for what you are and who you are. That's who you want to be with.
Yeah.
Right. J Cookies, home remedy for stomach pain. Are you taking probiotic? Did you eat something? I need more information.
Simpmom,
I'm not a doctor.
I was talking about that last week that I took probiotics because you talk on your stream about them all the time. For the first time I took them, and all I had to say was, holy shit.
You like it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and if I mean, you need these soldiers down there. A probiotic is like, where do you think the germs come from? They come right through your mouth, your hands, in the alimentary canal, right? All through your body. All right. Put good soldiers down there. They got swords and they got shields. And when bad germs come down, they're going out of here. All right. That's what they're doing. So when you take probiotics, you're putting, and you need the bifidobacteria and the acidophilus, you're putting soldiers down there. So when germs come in, they got nowhere to go. They're going to beat the crap out of them. And that's what probiotics do. And
so the advice is put soldiers in your ass.
Well, down your throat. Don't stick them up your ass.
Put
that's
soldiers down your throat.
I'm not talking about an enema. Not talking about an enema.
No, but hey, you know, nose, ears, and mouth, right? Put the soldiers in your mouth.
And a bunch of other stuff. Sometimes if you've got a sour stomach, sometimes if you, there's a bunch of different remedies. Sometimes like vinegar helps. Sometimes a little baking soda and water helps. Go on the internet, put your symptoms in and see what they come up with and see what you got around the house that you could take to help with it. And I hope you feel better.
But be careful with the checking your symptoms online. If you go to WebMD and you put anything in, it tells you have cancer. Like literally anything.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. But just I would look for a home remedy. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes vinegar, sometimes baking soda with a little water if it's in your stomach. But it doesn't hurt to put your symptoms in and see what it comes up with. But you gotta, Don't get scared when they come up with all this stuff. It might it's just a mild little case of thing. Maybe something you ate, right? Yeah.
So, Simpmom.
Huh.
I wanted to, that's basically all the questions for the parent thing I have. I wanted to end on a little special thing, a small quiz, 5 questions about your son, Simply.
Sure.
Just to see if you know the Simply facts.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, can I ask if Chance got any questions before you do that?
Oh, okay.
Just is it anybody got anything? Tonight's your night to ask. Anybody's got anything?
Yeah, any more parenting questions or anything on, anything we be talking about.
You got
you guys
anything?
know that we talk about mental health stuff, so anything is open.
We talk about everything. A little bit
and
about
we don't
sex,
have to end right after this quiz, by the
health.
way. We could still keep talking. I just wanted to do this.
Oh, yeah. Any questions?
If I have an idea of what to talk about. All right, well, how about this? Get your questions in, guys, while we do this, and then you can think about it. Because this is only going to be like a 2-minute thing anyway.
Okay.
Okay, so I know you can't hear, but I'm playing the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire $1 million question music for you.
Okay.
Okay, so the first question is... Let's get back to... Here we go. What streamer influenced Simply to start running Super Mario 64?
It was the guy that first ran Mario 64. His name is, he doesn't run anymore. I know his name is on the tip of my tongue, but he was one of the first that brought it down. And then, what is his name? I know who it is, but it's a former streamer that was very good at Mario 64.
You are correct. It was a former streamer who was good at Mario 64.
Okay, but if you give me, hey, if you make up names, I'll tell you what.
No spoilers in chat, you dickheads. Well, okay.
Yes, it's Siglemic. It's Siglemic.
That's a wrong response.
It was Siglemic.
Yes, you are correct. Thank you, Biscuit. Okay, now for an easy one, Simpmom. This is real easy. I know you're gonna get this one because you've seen it a million times.
Okay.
What was Simply's world record time?
1:38.28.
Damn right. Okay. That's 1 out of 2. You're still in the running for $1 million. We'll call that 2 out of 2 and say you're still in the running for $1 million.
I feel like I should be riding a horse. I'm getting
this. Okay, this is now the easiest of all. Who were the 3 big bestie Super Mario 64 runners? One of them being
Punky and Cheese and Liam.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking Liam, but yes. Good call.
Yeah.
Okay, you were doing good.
Okay.
She's doing good.
Okay.
All right, now going into the past again. Simply is called Simply now. But what was his original name on Twitch?
I don't know that one. I don't know that.
It's very similar, if that helps.
Was it Simple something? It wasn't Simple Flips.
I'll give you a hint. It had the word Simply in it already.
I don't know.
Ooh,
it wasn't Simply and
Yes.
Was that it?
Yes, you got it.
What do I get for a prize? What do I get for a prize?
Nothing.
That's okay. Right. That's okay. Wow. Okay. Yay!
Good call. All right.
Yay!
And now there's one more with a bonus question attached to it.
Okay.
So, Simply had to take 2 years off for his injury.
Mm-hmm.
He tried a million things that never helped. And then he discovered a book that someone recommended that did help. What was that book called?
Oh, I got it upstairs and I bought it myself and I read it. Oh, wow. Mind?
This music is great right now.
Mind?
Oh. You're almost there.
Mind? Is it Mind Body Prescription? No.
Yes, it is.
Is it?
Holy shit, yeah. All right, Simpmom. Hell yeah. And now this one, I don't know. This is gonna be a harder one, I think. But this is the bonus.
Okay.
Simply attributes his mental stability speedrunning to another book. What is that book?
The Game of Tennis?
Yes! Simpmom, you are on fucking fire! Holy shit! The only one you missed was Siglemic, and it's just because you couldn't remember.
Oh, yeah. If you had multiple guests and had 100 streamers, I would have got Siglemic. It was just the tip of my tongue. Wow.
Awesome. Good job. Good job. You know your son and the dumb shit that he does on Twitch. As other people think. All of us love it.
I do.
So anybody...
can sit by and inhale talk. Remember when he do that?
What?
When he would inhale talk, and then somebody said that they did it, and then they got their friends hated him for it or something, that they lost a lot of friends because he used to inhale talk, which is why he had the inhalers as icons. Remember that, guys? Yeah, right? You remember that, Biscuit? Right? Wow.
Oh, Button asked, what's your advice on dealing with holiday stuff if you don't get along with your family? So what, like how to get along when you have to be around them, Button, like at a celebration?
I would say play stupid, silly, and dumb. In other words, just go in knowing that I mean, I don't know if your family are jerks or idiots, but just kind of go in and, hi, how's everybody doing? You know, do what you have to do to be there and then leave. But just don't feed into anything. Let the bullets bounce off. You know, we have, I've got a relative that just loves to poke at me all the time. And it's like, I think they want a reaction and not give them any. You know, just be silly and kind of, hi, everybody. Hi, everybody's having a holiday. You have to, you know, and just understand that you're above all this bullshit and you're not going to be sucked into it. That would be my best. I mean, unless you can get out of going. I mean, is it something where, huh? What?
That's the best answer right there. Just get out of going altogether.
Unless you can, or maybe change it up where, you know what, I can't do it this Christmas, but I can meet you for pancakes at Uncle John's Pancake House or something. I can do that, but I can't do this year.
That would be amazing to hear. I can't come over for Christmas, but I'll get pancakes.
Yeah, what the heck? I mean, this is your life, and you have control over what you do. And if there's toxicity, you don't put up with it. You just don't. You know, unless it's like, I mean, it depends, like, is it the crazy uncle that you know that's going to be the jerk? Or is it your parents that are going to pick at you endlessly? You know, just, hey, Mom, how you doing? Hey, Merry Christmas, and get out. You know, don't allow yourself to be sucked into anything.
Oh,
you know,
that would be I see that you gained some weight this year.
Oh, yeah, don't you love that? Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's, and I just play silly, stupid, and nice. You know, and oblivious to any crap they're going to throw your way, and just be pleasant and then leave. And like, I did my duty. I went home to my folks. You know,
and I would add to that too. Like, that's very good advice. I would add to that too. Sometimes it just gets to you, know, and you can't just keep acting normal. And when they're just saying that shit to you, and okay, just hold on a second. And I would say just like take a trip to the bathroom, or just take a trip outside. Just stand out on the porch for like 5 minutes. And just take some breaths, you know. And
square breathing. Square breathing.
There. Exactly.
We're going to practice that on Saturday night. I'm going to square breathing. It's the best trick in my arsenal to calm down. I'm going to teach you guys how to do that. We're going to practice it on Saturday night, along with a surprise. But no, I mean, that's because there's sometimes some family obligations that you have to do, unless it's toxic. If it's toxic, I say, cut it. If it's toxic, because you know, as adults, we can choose. As kids, we didn't have the choice. You know, we had to go to grandma's for Christmas, and that's just the way it went. But as an adult, you have a choice, and you know, you can say, I'm not going there, or you can set boundaries too. That we're not talking about this. All right, I'm going to come, but we're not talking about this. All right, it's upsetting to me, and I want to have a nice holiday. Or tell everybody to leave the damn baggage. Let's just watch It's a Wonderful Life and open presents and eat good food. You know? Right?
Hell yeah. Giving presents is definitely the best part of Christmas. I always heard that when I was little, you know, like as a kid. And I'm just like, what the hell are you talking about? When I open these like 50 presents, that's the best time of my life. All these tiny little pieces of shit, you know? But then when I grew up, I was like, holy crap, man. when someone opens it and you see that smile on their face that you were planning for like 3 months when you bought this, I've never gotten a gift that made me feel that good.
Simply one year, the best Christmas I ever had, and the best gift from Simply was what he wrote every single one of us our own song for Christmas. That was the best.
That's fucking awesome.
Every Simp Dad, his sister-in-law had a song. Everybody had their own song. And that was the best. Gifts from the heart to me mean more than anything. Don't go to, to Kohl's and buy me a $300, a well-written card, and maybe, my favorite candy, something. I don't like the kids to spend money on us. I don't like that at all. And gifts from the heart. Your mom loves baby powder, so I'm going to buy her enough for the full year. Just gifts and a note. Mom, I know how much you love this, and I wanted to do. And I hope most parents aren't materialistic. We're not at all. We aren't at all. I love gifts from the heart.
Yeah, like a good cod with noodles glued to it, macaroni
noodles. Right. Gift giving is like for little kids, where they open up all these presents because Santa Claus came. And, and that's another thing that bothers me is that, and I wish there was a way to address it. When you have children with financial inequities, in other words, Johnny's going to get it. I went to Santa and I asked for an iPad and an iPad, and I got Legos. Johnny got the iPad. Why did Santa give him that? I wish parents would realize that the kids go to school, they're being compared with their classmates, and they'd say, well, Mama gave you the iPhone. Mom and Dad gave you the iPhone. Santa gave you more modest gifts. Because it just seems unfair that these little kids go to school. It's like, well, see, I asked Santa for one too, and I didn't get one. When you believe, and that just seems sad to me. Because the parents can't afford to do that, and that just seems like, well, I wasn't good enough. That parents, as a parent, if you're giving expensive gifts, get them from yourself, not from Santa. Does that make sense, Noodles? Do you know what I mean?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, because you don't want to feel, I don't know, there's a responsibility that goes with getting a very expensive gift, even if it's from a family member.
Uh-huh.
And especially if you don't like it, it's very hard to, you feel really bad if you don't like something is very expensive. And
yeah.
Critter, by the way, that thing you wrote about your film, I know that wasn't supposed to be funny, but it did make me laugh just because it reminds me of The Puppeteer. And Critter, what I would say is have fun with it. If you have been confrontational because you've been real, not because you've just been trying to be an asshole, but if you've just been like pointing out the 800-pound gorilla in the room and just being real, and they think that's why you're being confrontational, then have fucking fun with it. Keep pointing shit out and just laugh in your head the whole night. Every time someone just like gets upset about it, just keep going on and on. That would be the best thing that I could tell you to do. But that's because that's what I would do. That's what the puppeteer would do, just to have fun with the people that want to make you feel bad.